Right here in the docket on October 8th, 2019, Mr. Chang, Mr. LaPipe, Mr. Jones, and Pistone allegedly kidnapped the district attorney, Adrian West, at Premium Deluxe Motorsport. Ms. West was in the company of Chief ADA Kermit DeLaw, whom was violently gunned down during the altercation in which Ms. West was kidnapped by defendants ADA Kermit DeLaw, was pronounced dead at Pillbox Medical Center by Dr. Ducksworth.
Is anybody talking right now?
The charge that is being placed on these defendants right now is going to be murder.
Your Honor.
Yes.
As well as terrorism. I amended the filing.
Where is that going to be in the docket?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't.
I see it. I see
yeah.
it.
Sorry, I don't like to edit the original thing.
No, I see it.
Yeah.
I'm a terrorist.
Okay, I see it. And terrorism.
Yes.
What the fuck is he talking about?
I'm a terrorist. That's fucked up.
Due to the heinous nature of these crimes, the district attorney will be pursuing the payments to the state of $100,000 in fine from each defendant, and will be pursuing the death penalty for all the defendants. Now we are gathered here today, ladies and gentlemen, to see that our 14th Amendment right is observed. For those who are unfamiliar with this constitutional amendment, let me provide you with a small part of what it says. No state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor will it deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of those laws. Regarded as the Reconstruction Amendment ratified by Congress back in July 1868, it was put in place to give the newly freed slaves from the Civil War their rights to life, liberty, and property. Wrote 151 years ago. It still holds true today, October 20th, 2019. I make mention of this right because we are here to determine whether or not this state will deprive these men of their right to life. They stand accused of murder, but we must remember that we will have due process of the law before condemning
Big Cat, what up,
them
baby?
to the punishment of said crime.
Thank you, brother.
And
Thank
also
you.
terrorism. It is by this process that these men are innocent until proven guilty. I'm going to say that one more time. It is by this process that these men are innocent until they are proven guilty or they themselves admit to guilt. With that being said, Mr. Braun, how do your clients plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay. Now at this time, we will now have opening statements. Plaintiff.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good job, my friend.
Oh my, thank you for the
Thank you, Mr.
gifted
Chang.
sub.
Your Honor,
Mr.
people
Potter,
of the
stop
court,
touching yourself.
today we bring to the floor charges of murder and terrorism.
Only warning.
Grievous, heinous crimes against the people of the state of Los Santos. The defendants stand accused of the murder of a politically appointed official in the form of Associate District Attorney Kermit DeLaw. They stand accused of terrorism on the grounds that they performed the murder of an Associate District Attorney and kidnapped the District Attorney Miss Adrian West herself on the request of a known enemy of state, Mr. Bovice Wilkinson, whom is also attributed to the death of Associate District Attorney Nora Dupre. We stand here capable to bring these murderers to justice for their crimes, as we are appointed to do so as prosecutors of the state. We will prove these charges as valid here today in this court of law, and by this court, take murderers and terrorist actors off the streets for good, as they are too dangerous to be kept in their holding, their crimes too heinous to be left unanswered. The District Attorney's Office will prove these facts today in this court, Your Honor, and on this floor. Thank you.
Defense, your opening statement.
Your Honors, ladies and gentlemen of the court, I would simply like to remind you that the burden of proof is on the prosecution to find my clients guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the charges of murder and terrorism. As my client's attorney, I am absolutely confident that the prosecution will be completely unable to prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. The state is going to try to tell you today that my clients are politically motivated, radical extremists capable of deliberate acts of resistance against the government and the institutions of justice. In our defense, I will simply argue the truth, which is that my clients are convicted felons, absolutely. But they are
What?
motivated by profit and opportunity, not idealistic concepts of destroying the government. It's simply not their MO. But it is, again, on the prosecution to prove otherwise. So pay close attention to what they have to say.
Plaintiff, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please call your first witness.
The prosecution would like to call Sergeant Bobby Smith to the stand.
He's a sergeant?
Yeah, Sergeant works.
Okay, so
Get him, Bobby.
Well, fuck, this guy's a sergeant.
Good evening, sir. Please raise your left hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you sin?
I do.
Your Honor, this witness has been sworn in.
You may begin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good evening, Sergeant Smith. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Full house.
Absolutely. On October 8th, 2019, did you respond to a 911 call at Premium Deluxe Motorsports?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall the verbiage of this 911 call?
Along lines of help, the ADA has been shot, the DA has been kidnapped down at the PDM.
Did you respond to this 911 call?
Yes, I did, myself along with Park Ranger Clarkson.
Upon arriving at the scene, what did you find?
I found a Kermit DeLaw, assistant district attorney, on the ground of the parking lot, shot, unconscious, as well as a witness who I'm not sure if I'm allowed to name or what the protocol for that here is.
The witness has been named, Sergeant Smith.
Okay, so like I said, found the Kermit DeLaw on the ground along with a Mr. Ryan Karthus standing over him, the person who called 911 at the time.
What
Chief, thank
details
you
did
so
Ryan
much, dude.
Karthus give to you about the suspects?
Something along the lines of men dressed in black had gotten out of a black vehicle with weapons. They went ahead and shot the assistant district attorney and took off in a car that somewhat resembled a Charger. I remember that detail being something that stood out because he went ahead and tried to point out to a vehicle in the display of the shop as something resembling the vehicle that was used in the getaway.
Did Mr. Karthus tell you how many suspects were in the vehicle?
I do not recall at the time.
Were these details communicated to other police officers?
Yes, right away we knew their heading as well. We communicated these details over radio to the multiple officers that were available and on duty at the time to begin our investigation to finding the suspects in the vehicle, as well as the kidnapped district attorney.
Was Air 1 deployed to assist in the search?
Oh
Yes.
God, here we go, dude.
How long did it take for Air 1 to locate the suspects?
Oh Lord, here we go.
I would say roughly around 15 minutes or so.
Did Air 1 call out the details of the suspects?
They called out details of men matching description as well as a vehicle over radio for us to go and investigate further.
Did these details match the statement of Ryan Karthus?
I believe so, yes.
How long did it take for you to respond to Air 1 locating the suspects?
Because of how big our search parameter was, at the time we were near Grapeseed, so it took us about 3 minutes to respond up to the heading or the area that Air 1 was investigating at the time. So I'd say 3 minutes was our response time.
Where did Air 1 locate the suspects?
It was up in Polito.
Yeah, go tell
After
him where.
locating the suspects yourself, what happened?
Well, like I said, we located the vehicle as well as the passengers that matched the description of the information we received from the crime at PDM. I went ahead and pulled over, or at least attempted to pull over the vehicle with the suspects inside. It was a black-looking vehicle, 4 doors, along with 4 occupants inside dressed in black, wearing some type of masks. Upon trying to pull them over, I initially called in for backup. The passengers of the vehicle broke out their windows and started to shoot at my vehicle, at myself along with my partner. I got shot several times into the chest as well as a bullet that grazed my neck, and I went off the side of a banking before partially losing consciousness.
Was the gunfire coming from the vehicle automatic in nature?
Because of how many bullets it's hard for me to tell whether it was automatic. It's just a lot of bullets being shot out, so I can't say yes or no on that.
Understood. Completely reasonable. Did you receive medical treatment for your wounds?
Yes, I did.
I have no further questions for the witness, unless you do, Ms. Gotcha. I can't hear you speaking.
Oh, sorry, I do have one question. Mr. Smith, when you got shot, what happened to you medically?
Well, when I got shot, I was, I believe, transported by a Lifeline 1 down
Not
to
leading.
the pillbox center. I had a doctor, I believe Ducksworth, was working on me. I believe I received some stitches, painkillers, had some bruises. Attempted to take most of the day off because of the nature of the crime, but of course had to follow up on the reports following the incidents that happened in Sandy Shores.
Okay, upon being shot, were you incapacitated?
Partially, yes. I
Were
was
you the
unable
one-
to move and etc.
Okay, sorry. Were you the one driving?
Yes.
Okay, no further question.
Oh my god, is Baba gonna be
Defense,
okay?
would you like to cross?
Yes. Mr. Smith, did
Yes,
you
sir.
see who shot Kermit the Law?
Who would shoot the park ranger?
Negative.
Action scope.
I failed to see how that's without the
How
scope
is
of
that
a
not in
murder
the
trial
scope? Are you stupid?
about a murder.
About out of scope. Is she brain dead? Yeah, he's up.
No, he did make mention of the fact that he was there on scene where the law was down and Ryan Karthus was attending him. So I'm going to allow the question. That objection is going to be overruled.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith,
Go
if
ahead.
you would
I'm
go ahead
sorry,
and
go
answer
ahead
the
and
question.
ask Brian, go ahead and ask the question one more time so that way we can
Okay. If he
continue.
comes back, let me
Sure.
know.
Mr. Smith, did you personally witness the shooting of Mr. Kermit the Law?
No, because if I did, I would have stopped it.
All right,
Yeah,
very,
right.
very good, very good. I have no further questions for this witness.
Hell.
That's one.
My
That's it.
man,
All right.
Chang
You can't
said
say
that.
anything. They're serious about it.
Would you like to
Uh,
redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, you may step down.
Excellent. Can I have my ham sandwich now?
No,
Okay.
refreshments are going to be outside if you need them.
B.
Good job, Bobby.
How's it going, guys? Excuse
Katya.
me. Excuse me.
Your Honor, I would like to call Norm Yoder to the stand.
Oh,
Norm Yoder.
Yes.
who the fuck
sir.
is that? Who the
Your best
fuck
bet,
is
Mr. Yoder, should just be go
Norm
over the top.
Yoda? Norm, what? Why is he being called?
I choked on water.
Man.
Remember, guys, when people understand, let's give our comments to ourselves.
Good evening, Mr. Yoder. Will you please raise your left hand for me, sir? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you sin?
So help me, sick.
Your Honor, this witness has been sworn in.
I didn't even know they
Good
had
evening,
him.
Norm.
What the fuck?
Norm.
You're Caden?
What?
Sorry, it's going on.
Damn it.
I apologize.
I'm not Aiden.
Oh.
Okay. Turn around. Thank you. All right, Norm, do you recall being in the presence of Kermit DeLaw and Adrian West, on October 8th?
Yes.
Okay. What is your relationship to Kermit and Adrian?
They are, and I quote, my super best friends.
They are your best friends.
Yes.
What is the last memory you have of them on that day?
Objection relevance.
I'm trying to establish the
let's go
fact
ahead.
that...
I was gonna say, let me go ahead and say, go ahead and give your rebuttal, Miss.
Who is this
Cosby.
guy?
I'm trying to establish the fact that he was with them that day, and some things that had happened before going to PDM.
Okay,
Again, I renew
let's,
my objection relevance.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and sustain. Go ahead and.
Your Honor, can I...
There
Again,
we go.
this is also in regards to the video that was submitted. I am trying to clarify some facts regarding the video.
I'm still kind of failing to see what his relationship has to do with the video itself or anything. Just go ahead and ask your questions, but I don't think the relationship of what he has with them is going to be really
That's
necessary.
not what's being objected to, Your Honor.
Your question was, what is your relationship to?
My question that Murphy objected to, what was the last memory he had of them that day?
Okay.
But it's okay. I can move on.
Okay, please.
What was Adrian wearing that day?
Her normal attire.
Which is what?
Usually like a really tight skirt and a top,
Skirt.
mostly like black.
Had pants on.
Okay. Was her top and her skirt black?
He's lying.
Ma'am.
Okay.
He's
further
fucking
questions?
lying, dude. What?
Would you like to cross?
Not really. Let me see what the point of that was.
You may step down.
Ain?
Ms. Gotti, you may call your next witness.
I'd like to call Wayne Aartsen to the stand, Your Honor.
What?
Your Honor, Aartsen, if you would make your way over.
Certainly.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Deputy.
Will you please raise your left hand for me, sir? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you sin?
I do.
Your Honor, this witness has been sworn in.
You may begin.
Skirt. What? What?
I will. Mr. Aartsen, how you doing tonight?
Well, Green Bay won and Seattle lost, so I'm a very happy man right now.
Okay. Just take a look here.
It's just the fact that he lied on stand. That's the thing. That's why I'm pissed.
Mr. Aartsen, how did you learn of Kermit's death?
I learned of Kermit's death by seeing the broadcast over Twitter while I was here at the courthouse.
Okay. And did you go to the hospital and or the morgue to see him?
Yes. Initially, I thought that
What was he
perhaps
wearing?
the doctor
Watch.
was playing some kind of odd joke or something, so I wandered over to the hospital to see what was going on.
Okay. And that is when you learned that it was not a joke, correct?
Yes, correct. When I arrived at the hospital, I saw the aftermath of the attack, a couple of extra folks in beds, and the then district attorney rather hysterical, and then Mr. DeLaw laid out on a bed in the emergency ward.
Okay.
Well,
Did you approach Mr. DeLaw?
Chad, I gotta go pee.
I
quick.
didn't
I'll be
get right
back.
up next to the bed because I did not want to get in the way of the doctor, but I did see him there, yes.
Okay. What injuries did you notice on Kermit's body?
He had been shot all to hell and back. Lots of bullet wounds.
Okay. Did you notice any injuries to his face or head?
I didn't get close enough to be able to see everything. You got to remember he was covered in tubes and surgical equipment and everything because they were trying to save his life. But like I said, there were a lot of bullet holes.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
Would you like to cross there, Mr. Brown?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Aartsen, you may step down. Oh, no, Aartsen, you may step down. Careful with the glass.
I don't know what the hell I... Damn it. Damn. Stupid glass. 0 and 1. Damn it.
Your Honor, I'd like to call Senior Officer Brittany Angel to the stand.
Careful now. Careful.
I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm strong.
When you come across, watch the glass.
Yes, Your Honor.
She looks like a fucking Terminator, ready to kill.
Good evening, Miss Angel. Will you please raise your left hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you sin?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, this witness has been sworn in.
You may begin, Miss Katia or Mr. Splina.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good evening, Senior Officer Angel. How are you?
I'm doing just great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Good raid, dude.
On October 8th, did you receive a 911 call concerning Adrian West and Mr. Kermit Law?
Yes, I did.
What was your initial call to action?
My initial call to action, could you clarify that?
What did you do to respond to this call?
Oh, I immediately drove to the nearest police department and grabbed a helicopter.
Which police department was that?
I do not recall.
Where did you start your search?
I initially started my search along Hawick Avenue, traveling westbound towards Great Ocean Highway.
Did you start searching clothing stores?
Yes, I did.
Which clothing store did you check first?
The very first clothing store I checked would be the one owned by Miss Kiki Chanel on Las Lagunas Boulevard.
Wait, hold on. What street was that for my notes? I'm sorry.
Las Lagunas Boulevard. The nearest cross would be Occupation Avenue, I believe.
About how long after the 911 call did you locate the suspect's vehicles?
I can't give you an exact time frame, but I can tell you approximately between 10 and 20 minutes after we received the call.
Why were you checking clothing stores?
Due to the fact that I had recently been kidnapped by a group of people and taken to Bovice, and I knew that there was interest in my sister as well. I feared that the same thing that happened to me was happening to her, and so I checked clothing stores as they made me change into an outfit.
Where did you finally locate the suspects?
They were located in a barn up in Toledo.
How'd you find us? Broad daylight.
Did the suspect's vehicle match the description provided?
Yes, it matched the description as far as a four-door black car was described to me.
After locating the suspect's vehicle in Toledo, what happened?
I called over the radio for Sergeant Smith and any other available units in the area to respond and investigate the suspicious vehicle further.
Where did the aerial chase of the suspect's vehicle lead?
Can you further clarify that question for me?
After locating the suspect's vehicle and chasing them with Air 1, where did that chase lead?
That chase led to Sandy Shores.
Was the vehicle fired upon during this chase?
Yes, it was.
Was a person in the trunk of the vehicle visible?
They were partly through the situation, yes.
Can you identify the person in the trunk?
Yes, her name was Adrian West.
Yeah.
What was Miss West wearing?
She was wearing orange pants and a white tank top.
Referencing your the report from September 21st, 2019, the kidnapping of Brittany Angel, was this attire similar to what you were forced to wear when you were kidnapped?
Yes, it was.
Did your kidnappers in this incident deliver you to Bovice Wilkinson?
Yes, they did.
What were your kidnappers wearing?
They were wearing all black with masks.
What was discussed between yourself and Bovice Wilkinson?
That's a very broad question. Would you mind narrowing that down for me?
Did Bovice Wilkinson make any threats towards judges, police, or the DA's office?
Yes, he explicitly described in how he despised the DOJ.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Well, I'll wait for that to finish.
What the
Everything
fuck?
calm. Just casual explosions. We're safe in
Jesus
here. Nobody get
Christ.
Yeah. Are we good? I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Sounds
It's
like
not in chat.
Alright. Sorry. He outlined in detail how he despised the Department of Justice as well as police officers.
Did Bovice Wilkinson mention what he was planning to do with you?
Yes, he did.
What were those terms?
He wanted me to get him information.
What was this information concerning?
He wanted to know.
Objection relevance. Where's this
your
going?
rebuttal, Mr. Spleener.
She remembers this.
This
Meanwhile,
is an
she was
establishment of the
all
terrorism
cracked
charge
out of her
that,
mind.
Bovice
Crack,
Wilkinson is
coke,
an enemy of the state and
oxy,
seeking information
weed.
about the state itself.
But she remembers this like it's nothing.
No, I'm gonna go ahead
LSD.
and overrule the objection at this point.
Okay.
Mr. Braun, we'll go ahead, Spleener. Let's make it quick though.
Understood, Your Honor. What information was Bovice Wilkinson seeking?
He wanted to know the people that shot David Barker, the officers that shot him.
Understood. What were the conditions for your release from this kidnapping?
The conditions for my release, I can't accurately tell you what they were, but I do know that it involved the release, or at least a lighter punishment on Vinny Pistone and Mario Pipe, I believe his name is, who were in police custody at the time.
Was Vinny Pistone and Mario Lepeep your two of your kidnappers during this incident?
According to the police reports that I've read, yes, they were.
All right. That's the end of that particular line of questioning, so we'll shift back to the main event at hand. During the aerial chase, what was the intent for firing upon the vehicle?
To disable the vehicle.
Psychotic?
Was the vehicle disabled?
Yes, it was.
At any point during the pursuit, did you lose visible contact with the suspect's vehicle?
I believe I did not, no.
After the vehicle was disabled, what happened?
As soon as the vehicle was disabled, I heard more gunshots from the helicopter, and I landed on top of a nearby warehouse to provide fire support from above.
What were the suspects wearing upon detainment?
I can't accurately tell you outside of they were wearing black clothing with masks.
Were the suspects searched during their detainment?
Yes, they were.
What did they have on their persons?
They all had at least one Class 2 weapon, various narcotics, including Oxycontin, crack cocaine, handcuffs, lockpicks, and other things of that nature.
Good.
Was Miss Adrienne West recovered during this
Remember
altercation?
what I had for breakfast.
Yes, she was.
What was she wearing?
She was wearing orange pants and a white tank top.
I know what your mother
Is this
had for
attire
breakfast.
commonly known as Bovice World Fashion?
You.
Yes, that is what it's
Objection
referred to.
speculation.
May I rebut, Your Honor?
You may rebut.
She is a victim of this kidnapping herself, Your Honor. She would know exactly what Bovice World Fashion is.
I don't think it's got anything to do with the common nomenclature of the
Huh?
regular citizen. So again, speculation.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and sustain that objection. Let's go ahead and go to the next question.
Understood, Your Honor.
Oh.
Why do these kidnappers dress their victims in a white tank top and orange pants?
Objection speculation.
It is.
That's gonna be sustained.
Yeah, good shit, baby.
Chip Murphy.
You're a fucking heavyweight champion.
Your Honor, can you have a moment to rebut?
All right, you know what? Make your rebuttal.
That's inappropriate.
Your Honor, it is her. Actually, withdrawn. The people would like to reference the execution video of Nora Dupre, Police Report 12797, and the kidnapping of Brittany Angel CID report. Victims of these kidnappings that are dressed in said attire. Were any of the defendants on trial today involved in your kidnappings?
Of my kidnapping?
Of your kidnapping, yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mario the Pipe and Vinny Pistone.
He's not even here, you idiot.
At this time, the people would like to reference the People's Evidence Item I, that Senior Officer Brittany Angel's kidnapping, and Senior Officer Angel's kidnapping, and the kidnappers, including Bovice Wilkinson himself, negotiated for Mario LaPipe and Vinny Pistone's release in exchange for Brittany Angel. Did you receive a call from Bovice on October 8th?
Yes, I did.
What did Bovice say to you?
He was asking for information regarding Kermit, and he congratulated me on successfully retrieving Adrian.
Did you watch the video of Nora Dupre's death?
No, it was too traumatic to start.
Understood.
We get into that chamber, Chad. We fucked.
What is the name of the outfit that you were forced to wear by your kidnappers?
Objection. Relevance.
Rebuttal.
The victims of kidnappings that are led to Bovice Wilkinson are dressed in a common way, which we have already established the foundation to.
You've established a sustained objection, Counselor.
Your Honor, he's not done rebutting.
Mr. Brown, let's go ahead and let him finish. Or let Mr. Splainer finish on his rebuttal, and then you will have a chance to rebut again.
The objection that was sustained beforehand, Your Honor, was the objection to naming the outfit itself without establishing foundation, and I'm asking what Brittany Angel's name for this outfit is.
The fuck is that?
Your Honor, I maintain my objection. She's already been fed the answer that the counselor is looking for.
Yep. What are they having, a fashion show or some shit right now?
Go ahead and sustain the objection. Let's go ahead and move
on. Understood, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Easy clapper.
Good shit, Murphy. You're fucking weapon squatted.
Angel,
and he has a big
did you read the report of Nora Dupre's death?
No, I did not.
Did you see the clothing that Nora Dupre was wearing when her body was found?
I saw the beginning of the video, so I'm aware of what she was wearing at the time.
What was she wearing?
She was wearing orange.
Didn't she just say she didn't watch
track
it?
Pants. I'm not sure how you should the exact word for it, but orange pants and a white tank top.
Is this what you were forced to wear when you were kidnapped and taken to Bovice?
Yes.
She just said she didn't watch it. Now she's seen it. What the fuck?
Lying on the stand, bitch.
What a
Is this the same outfit
shit.
that Adrian was wearing when you found her on October 8th?
Set aside minor variations like shoes, yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
She watched it and she didn't watch it, huh?
Yeah, you say that, Vin.
Let me finish up. Let me finish up my notes really quick. You can step up though, Mr. Brown. Just hold on your question before you go.
Of course, Your Honor.
Get off a perjury, killer.
Hey Chang, did you watch that video? No. Hey Chang, you watched the video? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some.
All right.
Yeah.
You're ready to cross. Give me
Chang, what color pants did he have? Oh, I didn't watch it.
Miss Angel, when my clients were arrested, what make and model vehicle were they driving?
I can't accurately tell you what they were driving.
So you can accurately tell me the minor variations of a Bovice outfit, but not the make and model of the vehicle
Objection,
in a
badgering.
murder investigation?
Objection is going to be...
What was the objection?
Badgering.
Badgering?
Yeah. Objection sustained. Let's go ahead and continue on with the question, though.
Well, I would still like to know why the make and model of the vehicle was not noted?
You may answer that question, Miss Angel.
When there is an active police situation, there are a lot of moving parts, and I cannot accurately tell you the reason as to why it was not noted.
Okay. Moving on. Let me think.
Damn it, Murphy, get your shit together, huh?
Actually, I don't have anything further for you.
What?
Yeah, they remember everything except the fucking car.
Oh, you ready for a redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Murphy's fucking perjury, Murphy.
Angel, did you take a
Big
picture of
time.
Adrian West on October 8th after the kidnapping?
Yes, I did.
Will they not take a
Is
picture
that
of the
why
fucking
you
car?
remember what she was
Your Honor,
wearing?
objection. This is not within the scope of my redirect or my cross.
He asked her of why she remembered the details of the outfit, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's gonna be overruled, Mr. Brown.
Fair enough.
Is that why you remember what Adrian was wearing that day?
Yes, it is.
But you couldn't remember the car.
You
I swear
were
to God,
also wearing
dude.
a very
Oh my
similar
God.
outfit when you were kidnapped. Is this correct?
The bullshit,
Yes, that's
the
correct.
bullshit, dude.
Does this also attribute to the fact that you remember what Adrian West was wearing that day?
Yes, it's very hard to forget something like that.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Angel. No further questions.
This bitch straight Ryan.
Fucking perjury.
Okay, you may step down there,
That's right, she
Miss
fucking lied.
Angel.
You tell him. I guess shooting criminals is not enough for her.
Yeah, you're gonna get thrown out.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna come back and we're gonna call the next witness, but I myself must take a whiz right now. So I'm gonna put the court into recess for the calm down. Put the court in recess for about the next 7 minutes, while I go take a whiz and wash my hands, grab a snack.
I appreciate that, Your Honor.
I
Okay,
appreciate
court's
that
in
you
recess.
wash it.
Okay.
So
right
we
here.
just
I
got
see you,
done
brother.
from where we left out. We had just got done having Miss Angel up, and we had the redirect, and then we went into recess. Let's go ahead. Plaintiff, I believe it is still you. Call your next witness.
I'd like to call Dr. Andrew Ducksworth to the stand, Your Honor.
Ducksworth, where you at?
He's coming.
Ducksworth, you might want to shake the fly off of you.
He means
Good evening,
jump.
Ducksworth.
Jump, Ducky.
Good evening, Ducksworth. Will you please raise your left hand for me, sir?
Absolutely, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you sin?
So help me, sin.
Your Honor, this witness has been sworn in.
Okay, explainer, your turn.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good evening, Dr. Ducksworth. How are you today?
Well, sir, how are you?
Good, thank you for asking. What is your current occupation?
Senior attending of Pillbox Medical Center.
How long have you worked for Pillbox Medical?
Approximately 6 months.
What medical state was Mr. DeLaw in when you first started treating him?
Dead. Fuck
As
him.
his heart had stopped beating, clinically dead.
What injuries did you notice on Mr. DeLaw when you first saw him?
Multiple GSWs to the chest.
These injuries officially recorded on his autopsy report?
They are indeed.
What kind of bullets were found in Mr. Kermit DeLaw's body?
I found no rounds lodged within the patient's body. They had all passed through.
Did he have any injuries to his head or face?
None that I was able to find.
In your professional opinion, how many times was Mr. DeLaw shot?
At least 5.
What do you believe caused the ligature and irritation marks to Mr. DeLaw's wrists?
The ligature marks to the decedent's wrists were consistent with being handcuffed and struggling to break free.
What was Mr. DeLaw's official cause of death?
Exsanguination.
What is exsanguination?
Heavy blood loss.
The autopsy report states the massive trauma to the deceased's chest would have quickly led to heavy blood loss, including his death. Is this correct?
That is correct.
All right.
In your professional opinion, how long would it have taken Mr. DeLaw to die from the injuries he sustained?
Barring any mitigating factors, a matter of minutes.
In your professional opinion, is
we
there any way to
handcuffed him,
survive these injuries?
Based on the results of the autopsy, I would have found it difficult for anyone to survive those injuries.
Understood. I have no further questions.
I have a few.
What are you gonna say? They were fucking Bovice bullets?
Dr. Ducksworth, when Kermit arrived on scene to you, did you check his pulse?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he have a pulse?
No, ma'am.
Was Kermit alive?
At that point, no, ma'am. The heart stops beating. That's clinical death.
Was Kermit dead before he reached the hospital?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
Sorry, accident.
And whoever
All right,
shooing,
whoever the hell
please
is
stop.
getting chips and whatnot, trust me, I'll know who you are, and I'll escort you out myself.
And Rami does not stop.
Yeah, please chew your chips softly,
Rami
please.
does not stop,
Don't want to
dude.
hit.
This is something like big, and he's fucking
Vince,
around.
do you want to cross?
Next.
Okay, it's gonna be a no. You may step down, Dr. Ducksworth.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Well, thank
Your Honor,
you,
I'd
baby.
like to call EMS Sam McIntyre to the stand. If she is here today.
How do you spell your name?
Me, sir?
Who the
Yeah,
fuck
your
is
last
this?
McIntyre.
Good evening, Miss McIntyre. Will you please raise your left hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you sin?
So help me, son.
Your Honor, this witness has been
Who's
sworn
this?
in.
Good evening, Miss McIntyre.
Hello.
About how long after the 911 call did you arrive on scene to PDM?
About 45 seconds.
All right. Which street direction did you take to get to PDM?
I went down Lower Pillbox. I'm not sure exactly what the street names are.
Okay. Did you come from the north of PDM or the south of PDM?
North of PDM.
Okay. Did you notice a black car pass you on your way to PDM?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Did you notice anyone in the street with a camera out across the streets from PDM?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Was Kermit responsive at all during your time with him?
No, he was not.
What injuries did you initially notice on Kermit when you arrived on scene?
Multiple gunshot wounds to the chest.
Okay.
Aartsen said to the back.
From your
this
memory,
one
were
says to
any of the
chest.
gunshots
Jesus
located to his
Christ.
face or head?
No.
Like
Okay.
playing a fucking track
What were the
over
first
and
steps you
over
took
and
when you arrived
over.
on scene to treat him?
Initially started cleaning and packing the gunshot wounds.
Okay. Did you check his pulse?
Yes.
Did he have a pulse?
No.
Okay. In your professional opinion and experience as an
Was he
EMS, about how much blood do you think Kermit lost when you first saw him?
I don't know. Was he dead?
I can't answer that clearly.
Okay. Would you classify Kermit's medical state as critical when you first arrived?
Yes.
Okay. Did his medical state change at all during your transport of him to the hospital?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Would you like to cross there, Mr. Braun?
Nope.
Okay, you may step down, Miss McIntyre.
You guys have any clue what's going on?
No. Whole lot of nothing.
Check it out.
All right, I'd like to call my final witness, Your Honor, Trooper Tony Andrews to the stand.
Mr. Andrews, please take your spot to the stand, please.
Good evening, Trooper.
Sir?
Will you please raise your left hand for me, sir? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you sin?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, this witness
Honor.
has been sworn in.
Your Honor, someone's still chewing back here. Can we find out who that is?
It's Rami.
What? It's not me.
Yeah.
Out.
All right,
I swear it's not me.
Get him out of
I-
here.
Guys,
Let's
it's not me,
figure
I
it out.
swear.
My
Okay.
issue's been dealt with.
All right.
All right.
Were you sworn in, Andrews? I can't remember.
Rami legit is fucking brain dead, dude.
What do you mean? What did I do?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. You may proceed, Miss Katya.
All right. Good evening, Trooper Andrews. How are you?
Ma'am, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. Trooper Andrews, did you respond to a 911 call on October 8th?
Initially, no, ma'am.
Yep.
Okay.
They get thrown in jail for contempt of court, and
this was
there's no
regarding
jailbreak
the
if we go to
Adrian
jail.
West and Kermit DeLaw call, correct?
Hold on.
Brains, chat, brains on them.
Yes, ma'am.
We have an officer down.
What the fuck
Okay,
is
let's
happening?
wait.
This
Let's
is
just wait.
ridiculous.
Let's
We have
just
an
wait right
officer
here.
down.
Oh no.
Everybody,
Do you mind if I go and
happened?
assist, please?
all right, go assist. We're gonna start the question over because
I wouldn't want to
don't
be
remember
who's
Yes, sir.
fucking around right now.
Crooked
me
cops.
either. Jesus
Call my
Christ.
ass.
Your Honor, maybe a 10-minute recess while
Okay,
we
let's
sort
go
out some
ahead.
assholes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and have a 10-minute recess. Okay. I'll put.
no,
up a
I
statement
really
announcement.
wouldn't want to be the
Alright.
one who's messing
Bro,
around right now.
Who the fuck out here killing cops?
Hey, I'm
Man.
selling water for if anyone.
All right, 10-minute recess, y'all.
10-minute recess.
Oh,
Okay.
Holy shit.
All right, boys, let's go.
Big
Let's go talk,
chips.
okay?
Stop eating in my ear in HD.
Okay, everybody's here. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's bring the court back into order. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start
Yo,
the question
shots
all
thank for the
over.
7 months, dude.
From the beginning. I think only one question was asked, but there was so much ruckus I wasn't able to note it. So let's go ahead and let's start over from the beginning, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Trooper Andrews, did you respond to a 911 call on October 8th, 2019 regarding Adrian West and Kermit DeLaw?
Yeah, Roger, yeah, for
Not
sure,
initially,
dude.
but later on in the incident.
Okay, about how much later?
When the chase was going on, ma'am.
Okay. Did you notice the 911 call?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right. And about how much time between the initial 911 call? I'm sorry, let me rephrase. About how much time had passed between the initial 911 call and Air 1 gaining eyes on the suspect?
Say approximately 10 minutes.
Shouldn't he be
7 to 10 minutes.
objecting
Okay.
to that, asked and answered already?
Where did Air 1 call out the vehicle's location?
I believe it was Polito, ma'am.
Okay. What happens after units re-engage the suspect's
Oh,
vehicle?
no? Okay.
I heard Sergeant Smith was attempting a stop on the vehicle, and then I heard a shots fired call come over the air. Then we had an officer down call come out afterwards. And then I believe the helicopter continued to follow the vehicle.
Okay. Once the suspect's vehicle was disabled, what happened?
Once it was disabled, all of the suspects jumped out of the vehicle and fled in separate directions.
Okay. Were all four of the assailants firing with automatic weapons?
I believe so, ma'am.
What?
Okay.
We didn't have a chance to.
When you searched the suspected vehicle, what did you find?
I didn't search the vehicle. I helped Miss West, who was in the trunk, out of the vehicle.
Okay. And what was Miss West wearing?
She was wearing a white tank top and orange pants.
Okay. Did Adrian submit a statement to you?
Yes, ma'am, she did.
Okay. Did Adrian tell you why she went to PDM that day?
It was to look at a new vehicle.
Okay. And what did Adrian report about what happens at PDM?
She said she went to PDM with Kermit DeLaw and Ryan Karthus. They arrived on scene at PDM when a black and colored four-door vehicle arrived with 4 masked individuals, all wearing black and black masks, exited the vehicle, pointed firearms at them. They instructed the victims or the individuals put their hands up. You want me to continue?
Just, yeah, whatever you... I'm going to be asking you more detailed questions, so you can stop there if you'd like.
Sure.
All right. How many men did Adrian report kidnapping her?
Objection. Hearsay.
I don't see how it's hearsay.
Is Miss West prepared to testify to the veracity of what Mr. Andrews is about to say?
She is listed as a witness.
Well, you said Mr. Andrews is your final witness. So which is it?
She is listed as a witness.
Your Honor, if
and
I may.
is also written down in the police report.
Okay, y'all two pause. Explainer, you may. Go ahead.
Your Honor, when a citizen gives a statement to a police officer, it is considered to be a sworn affidavit and is bound to the extent of the law. This statement was given directly to Trooper Andrews and submitted in an official police report. The police report is submitted into evidence.
Noted. And your objection is hearsay.
Yes. Miss West is not here to answer to those remarks.
And your question was, Ms. Karthus, ask you one more time.
I am asking him specifically what she told him and what he wrote down in the report. I do not see how that is hearsay.
What was the question that you asked? Not what the context is. What was the question?
I asked him how many men Adrian reported kidnapping her.
Your Honor, I still object to this. I have had no chance to question Miss West, nor will I have a chance to cross-examine. Anything she said that is not testimony in this court is incredibly biased.
Your Honor,
it is not.
Okay. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna sustain the objection, Ms. Kati. I think you can word the question a little bit better.
Okay. Don't see how I could word that any better without bringing up Adrian saying something to the trooper here, Your Honor. I mean,
you asked the trooper. You asked the trooper. So the question again. Go ahead. Ask your question one more time. I'm sorry.
How many men did Adrian report kidnapping her at PDM?
Okay. I see where your question is. Mr. Braun.
He already sustained it. He already sustained it, dude.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna overrule your objection because he did take the report. I want to hear it.
He already sustained it.
You can answer the question, Mr. Andrews.
What the fuck?
4 individuals, ma'am.
What?
All right. What did Adrian report to you after being put into the trunk at PDM? Excuse me.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question?
What did Adrian tell you happened after she was put into the trunk at PDM?
That she was taken right back out and then placed into handcuffs.
Okay, and then what happens after that?
Then they placed her back into the trunk of the vehicle and closed the trunk, ma'am.
Okay. Did Adrian give an explanation to you as to why she was wearing the white tank top and the orange pants?
She referred to it as it was for Vods.
Okay. Did she say... One second here.
Legit, Murphy cannot fight this at all because she is dead.
Did she mention how
she's in
she's
in the mental ward? So Murphy's fucked on this part.
The vehicle drove for a while from PDM. She wasn't sure where they were going, but once the trunk was open and the masked individuals took her out, she was at the Chumash clothing store.
Okay. And what did she say happened after she was changed into different clothing?
She was advised that she was placed back into the trunk of the vehicle, and that they turned on the vehicle and started driving once again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Murphy
right.
can't object to anything. Murphy can't. So annoying, dude.
Sorry, give me a second here.
The fucking judge already sustained the questioning, and now he's overruling it.
Did
like,
you show Adrian an image of the car you believe to be driven by the suspects?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, was that car driven by the suspects?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And how do you know that?
I arrived on scene after all of the suspects bailed out of the car.
All right. Did she confirm that that was the same car she was kidnapped in?
Yes, ma'am.
what? What the fuck?
What kind of car is it?
I'm not sure on the maker and model, but it is
Oh,
a black
what a
and silver
shocker.
vehicle with a red diamond on the back.
What a shocker.
Did Adrian at any point mention a gnome mask to you?
No, ma'am.
Did Adrian describe what her kidnappers were wearing?
She advised they were all dressed in black, wearing black masks.
Yeah, good thing I had red on.
Did this match the description of
Good
the
thing I had a
suspects
red
who were
mask
arrested
on.
that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Did Adrian at any point report being picked up by another group of individuals?
No, ma'am.
Did Adrian at any point report getting away from her original kidnaps before it being found by the police?
No, ma'am.
Did Adrian mention anything to you about her kidnappers changing clothing?
No, ma'am.
Did Adrian mention anything to you about her kidnappers changing cars?
No, ma'am.
How many suspects were detained?
4, ma'am.
When did you discover the identity of these suspects?
After they were taken into custody, treated at the hospital, and then taken down to the courthouse here to get identification cards.
Okay, and who were they?
So one Mr. Chang, Mario Lepipe, Uchiha Jones, and a Vinny Pistone.
Was Bullvice ever mentioned in Miss West's statement to you?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
That she was taken to the Chumash clothing store to change into her white shirt and orange pants for Bullvice.
Okay. Did Miss West indicate in her statement that the 4 arrested individuals were the same that took her against her will?
Yes, ma'am.
Had Mr. Karthus already been questioned by police before you called him into PD for additional questioning?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you do a lineup of the suspects for Ryan to identify?
I did, ma'am.
What happened during that lineup?
Our heads were a little weird that day, and the doors at Mission Row were unfortunately unlocked. So the 4 individuals were able to get out of the lineup room handcuffed, and they unfortunately ran past Mr. Karthus, myself, and a few other deputies as we were speaking to him.
What?
Okay. Have you seen the video evidence submitted by the defense?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay. In report 12764, version B, you wrote that Ryan Karthus told Officer Forcer that he saw 2 men in the vehicle at PDM. Is this correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How many men did Ryan tell you that he saw on scene at PDM?
3, ma'am.
Does that contradict what was told to Officer Forcer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right.
Referencing report number 12764, revision B, or version B, excuse me, again. You wrote that Ryan stated, quote, the 3 of them made it approximately 10 feet from the door when a car pulled up. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Does this match what was seen in the video evidence submitted by the defense?
I believe so. I would have to see it one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead and look over it again.
Somebody shoot him.
With the number of individuals, yes, it matches his statement.
Okay, my question was, the three of them made it
before you go, which whose statement did it match again? I'm sorry.
Ryan, we're talking about Ryan Karthus'
Okay,
statement.
all right, okay, go ahead.
So, Ryan stated that the three of them, indicating himself, Miss West, and Mr. D. Law, were 10 feet from the door when a car pulled up. Does that match this video?
How are they so specific? Like,
Were
I
all
feel
three
like...
of them 10 feet from the door when the car pulls up in this
Yikes,
video?
dude.
No, ma'am.
How did they get all of this
Where
in a
is Ryan
statement?
located
I
in the
don't
video
get it, dude.
when the masked men pull up in the vehicle?
It's so funny how all this came
cowering
about
behind the
after
car,
this
man.
video came about, dude.
Where is
It's
Kermit
fucking
located
crazy.
in the video when the masked men pull up in the vehicle?
He's standing next to a yellow pole, I would say about 30 feet from the door.
Okay. And where is Adrian located in the video when the masked men pull up in the vehicle?
She is like right at the front door.
All right. So just to reiterate, does the video contradict Ryan's statement of the three of them being about 10 feet away from the door to PDM?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
All right. What kind of car did Ryan originally report pulling up on scene to you?
Four-door black sedan, I believe.
Did Ryan ever report the car to be a Granger?
No, ma'am.
Okay. In report 12764, version B, you wrote that Officer Forcer was told by Ryan that, quote, the masked men put Adrian in the trunk of the vehicle. Ryan hid behind his car because he was scared. Is this correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In the video evidence submitted by the defense, does Ryan hide behind the car before or after Adrian is put into the trunk?
Looks like before, ma'am.
All right. In your experience as a law enforcement officer and a detective, and a trooper, do you believe Ryan was being untruthful in his statements to police?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Your Honor, objection, speculation.
In his experience as a law enforcement officer and a trooper, Your Honor, he would have the qualifications and the tools
Of a lie
to
detector
determine-
test? I highly doubt it.
In his experience, Your Honor. He is
Ask
trained.
the question one more time, Miss Katia.
No one can prove
Hold on,
someone's
hold on,
lying
Mr.
just by
Brown.
looking at them,
Hold
Your
on,
Honor.
Mr. Brown. Hold on, Mr. Brown. I want to hear the
Yo,
question.
Hurley,
and
thank you for
then
the 7
I'll
months,
note your
dude.
objection, which your objection was speculation, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Ask your question one more time, Miss Katia.
Okay. In your experience as a law enforcement officer, did you believe Ryan was being untruthful in his statements to police?
Why were they talking about his shit if they believe in untruthful?
Expertise or not, that's still asking him to
I
speculate.
asked him if he believes, not if he was lying, Your Honor.
Belief is a speculation in the
Trooper
highest
Andrews
degree.
is only capable of using his detective skills, Your Honor. He is a law enforcement officer.
I believe in a
Is he a
fucking magic
detective?
man in the sky. That doesn't make it not speculation.
Okay.
If I'm a
We'll
priest.
pause right here. I'm going to go ahead and sustain the objection.
Okay. About how many times had Ryan changed the details of the incident to the police?
Approximately 2 to 3 times, ma'am.
Sniper Bob, thank you for the 5 months. Yeah, she's
Did
more.
Adrian report which car she was in when she initially arrived to PDM?
I gotta look at my report, see if I noted that. I don't believe so, though.
Okay. Did she report that she arrived to PDM with Kermit?
Yes, ma'am.
Get ready for a prison break. True.
Do you know in this video which car is Kermit's?
I do not, ma'am.
Okay. I'm able to tell him, Your Honor, correct? Because I don't really have any questions regarding the vehicle ownership
What do you
itself.
want to? What do you want?
My next question is going to ask him which way the vehicle is facing.
On from the video? Or,
Yes, from the video.
You may ask the question.
Okay. Which direction is the pink shafter facing in the vehicle? Or in the video, sorry.
Can you give me one
What's the
second? I'm
point?
sorry.
Everyone can see the fucking video.
What does that have to do with? What does that have to do with anything?
I have no fucking.
She's asking these goddamn.
I believe that's facing southbound.
Okay. Did Adrian or Ryan ever report seeing a person filming across the street?
No, ma'am.
At any point during this video evidence, do you see Mr. Karthus face the direction of the person filming?
Initially, I believe so. I'd have to watch it again.
Go ahead and watch it again and let me know if you see him face south at any point.
Yes, ma'am. Before he ducks down, he does.
Okay, at any point, do you see the 3 armed individuals in the video face south?
Crazy how she knows everything on point. That's the crazy part. She knows every detail on point, which is crazy, dude.
Somewhat.
She knows every detail on fucking point.
Pink Shafter is also facing south. The car of Kermit DeLaw.
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Crazy how she knows every fucking detail.
Mr. Braun, would you like to cross?
Nope.
Well, you may step down there, Trooper Andrews.
Oh,
Thank you, Your Honor.
man.
Listen, you'll get thrown out. It's not worth it.
Are you
Is that
talking to
gonna be
me?
your last witness?
Yes.
Fuck did I do?
Poe's mad. I'm watching you.
That's right.
me yellow belly out.
Katya.
Oh, yeah. No more witnesses, Your Honor. I do want to reiterate some, and add some evidence.
You'd like to add evidence?
Not
Okay.
add evidence, sorry, go over evidence that I've
I was
submitted.
gonna say, okay. You may, go ahead and do that now.
She
All
had
right.
another. I thought she had another. Murphy.
Oh, I
She's
guess we
on
can do
crack.
some
She
more.
don't even know what she's done.
I know.
All right. So before I rest, I just want to talk a little bit about the evidence submitted. First, I'd like to address the video submitted into evidence regarding the death of Nora Dupre.
Oh, no, Cal,
This
thank
act
you
was
for the 2 months.
carried
Swagging
out
for
by
the 8
Bovice
months. Thank you,
Wilkinson and
guys.
associates of his terroristic organization, Bovice World. I'd also like to reiterate a few of the things Bovice himself has said in the video, such as, quote, Bovice's job is to get rid of everyone in the fucking DOJ, as well as Bovice tried to seek revenge in reference to the police department. Bovice later goes on to state, because this is your entrance into Bovice World. See, Bovice wants something simple once it got out. Wanted something simple once it got out. All the money they want on Bovice's head, see, that's going to go back into our pockets. You are supposed to help that, but the judges are seeming to drag their feet. So, you're going to help get that little boost to $1 million. Hopefully your death is enough to persuade them towards Bovice's side. Nora Dupre then states, please don't kill me, to which Bovice laughs and more words are exchanged. And I'm going to quickly go over some other things he said without all the narrative added to it so we can save some time. He also says, all the judges, no one gives a fuck about them. Labar, no one cares about Aartsen. No one gives a shit about Aartsen. Bovice is going to clear out all of them, and no one is going to shed a fucking tear. It doesn't matter if you have any
I'll
last
get
words.
right to that,
Because this
Valentine.
is
Give me a
Bovice
second.
World. Dump her body someplace public. Let Bovice know when it's done. Nora's body was later discovered on the courthouse steps next to another piece of evidence attached to this case showing a note that had Bovice World written on it.
SSS.
And then
I guess
I'm gonna
you guys
quickly
picked
address
that up
the
too,
tweets that were
right?
submitted from Bovice Wilkinson. 2 separate tweets were made directly at Adrian West. One stating, at Adrian West, you're next, bitch. Hashtag Bovice World. The other one states, at Adrian West, is your life worth $150,000? You're next, bitch. Hashtag Bovice World. There's also some tweets directed at Nora Dupre. Let's see. that were submitted, and then there are some other tweets stating #BoviceWorld is pretty with no piggies or judges, as well as another day, another body, #BoviceWorld. There's also an image attached showing Nora Dupre's body, along with the clothing she was wearing when she was found on the courthouse steps.
Be nice.
Which also matches what Adrian West was wearing when police found her in the defendant's custody. Let's see.
Chat,
I'd also like
please
to reference
stop.
the image submitted of the contents of the defendant's pockets, identifying the possession of small caliber automatic weapons from the defendants, all of which are
I don't
the
know
same
why
caliber
it's so
and nature
funny.
of
I'm
gunshot
such a
wounds,
dick.
which were lodged in Kermit D. Law's body and were the cause of his murder. And lastly, the people would like to reference the official report of the kidnapping of Brittany Angel, in which 2 of the defendants on trial today have been arrested and convicted of for planning and doing the exact same thing that was done to Nora Dupre and Adrian West regarding the kidnapping.
Honestly, you're all silly.
BoviceWorld fashion.
Oh god. Yo, Albuquerque, thank you for the 5, dude. Judging
that
by
is
the
it,
angle
I
of the
think.
sun in the
Prosecution
video,
rests, Your Honor.
obviously it was filmed on a different day, and humidity, air makes the gunshot sound
What do you think
different.
for a recess, Your Honor?
And they would say on the crime. Yo, thank you for the
No,
5
I'm
6
being
shot. Thank you for the 4
We'll have
months.
another
Valentine
recess,
coming in with the
10
5
Yeah, I mean, how long?
gifted subs, dude. Thank you.
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Nutter for the 6
All right,
months.
10
Blunt Force
minutes.
Trauma coming in with the
And
gifted
then
sub.
when we come back,
Thank
the
you
defense
so
will
much,
begin.
guys. Toba coming in with
thank
the
you, Your
6
Honor.
months. Guys, thank you so much.
I'll be back, boys.
Damn.
What happened?
We are now on
Mr.
to the
Nino, you wanna
defense.
go out and be thrown out?
Mr. Braun, do you have your
what's that?
first client? Or
Your Honor, I request a sidebar in chambers.
Okay, we may have a sidebar. Y'all can't come with me, can you?
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. Okay.
We can't really. Well,
We just
depending
can't
on
say
It's a
we can't
sidebar.
say anything.
Okay.
I don't have one. I only have the one from my case.
All right.
It's a bar, but it's on the side.
our opinion, but we can give you legal advice.
Yeah.
Please
Okay.
keep your voices
Alright.
down out there.
Well, I need to know why your star eyewitness isn't here, West. Andrews was up there testifying by proxy.
I can't answer that
We can-
question.
We can't account for Miss West's whereabouts. All we can say is that we asked about the sworn statement given the night of from Miss West that was given to Trooper Andrews. It's a sworn affidavit because it's a statement to police. It's recorded into the police report. The police report was submitted into evidence.
As a defense counselor, I have a right, and my clients have a right to know why that eyewitness to the shooting is not present.
No, they do not.
Yes, we do.
No,
She
they
has
do not.
she has a recusal from this court case for a reason that we are not allowed to disclose.
How convenient that is for you.
How convenient that you didn't submit her as a witness of your own, Counselor Braun.
I shouldn't have to.
Oh, you certainly should if you have questions for her, Counselor Braun. That's courtroom 101, if I may.
Okay.
No need to get cheeky, counselor.
Yeah, please. Let's stay civil. So, this sidebar. What is the goal of this sidebar?
The goal of this sidebar is to ascertain how credible her statements are to begin with. And you all know what I'm getting at.
It's a
don't
sworn
know
statement
what
on a
you're
police
getting
report,
at.
Counselor.
Yeah, I mean, it's already been allowed through, Your Honor. If it wasn't, I don't know why it wasn't stated or a sidebar wasn't requested at the time. It seems that after conferring
As
with
a
his
reminder,
clients,
the court
has
is
he
still
only
in
brought up this
session just because
concern.
The judge is not presiding.
So
keep
that
it to a
raises my
minimum.
concerns as well. I feel like Mr. Braun should have caught this and asked for this sidebar earlier.
Well, I mean, I had to wait for you to conclude your list of witnesses before I knew that she was not on them.
Again, that's not really my.
What we choose to do with our witness list is frankly, it's our business, not yours, Counselor Braun. If you wish to have direct questions for her, I would have advised you to submit her as a witness, but she was not. We decided not to call her. We decided we did not need her.
Is Judge Stanton aware why she's not here? Because that's good enough for me.
No, I'm not actually aware. per
Are
se.
you aware of why she? Why? Okay, wait. Are you aware of why she's not here? Because that concerns me.
Let me have you three step out while I confer with my people, and I'll bring you back in.
If we give you any sort of advice, they have to be here to make sure we didn't give you anything biased.
All right. Well, then y'all stay here. Okay. What are the thoughts right now?
Hey, not gonna do this while Murphy's standing here.
Or do you want me to go first?
Yes, please. One of you go. Just one of you go.
All right, I'll go ahead and say it like I say it.
Yeah, say it like it is.
A sworn affidavit on top of a police report.
Whoa! You guys realize we're still here, right?
Yeah, y'all can be here.
Oh, I thought you asked us to leave.
No, he's asking the opinion of judges that possibly have a conflict of interest, so we need to witness that.
Advice, but we can't give our opinion.
I could have sworn you just asked all three of us to leave. Okay, sorry.
He recanted. He recanted. You may not have heard that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
say it like it is.
On a police report. That is a thing. The sworn affidavits on a police report are done with both attorneys present, if they have attorneys. That way, anything on that statement that's going to be used
You're thinking
in
of a
court can be
deposition.
cross-examined. No, affidavits are done that way too. If they're sworn in on a police report, because the thing is, if you want to give someone else's testimony in court, and that person has to be able to be cross-examined in any way, or it's going to be hearsay.
You touched it, George.
One of the
only
parties
exception is death.
Well, it's technically listed as the individual not being able to be there, but it normally is construed as death. We're in murky water here.
We are, because there is
Let's
a
wade
very,
back over to-
very
let's
good
wade back
reason,
over to-
I'm sure, as to why she's not here.
Exactly.
So...
Oh, I'm sure.
If I may comment upon the difference
All right,
between
everybody, calm down. There are a couple of very good reasons why Adrian is not here, but it's very, very murky. So it's going to be one of them difficult
real quick,
things.
just keep in mind this conversation right now is happening between us and Stan.
I know.
You guys are just witnesses to it.
You guys are just
can't
witnesses
interject
to it.
anything we say.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's
Judge
very
Stanton,
it's very murky.
Yeah.
It is very. It's not good that Mr. Braun wouldn't be able to cross-examine any of these things whatsoever in this court case.
Also, what
then
has happened
this
here?
is so basically what just happened of the testimony of Andrews, and basically testified in place of. I think I'm kind of going somewhere with this one, and I'm feeling like something may need to be done about that, because this is about fairness, and with murder on the table, and I'm thinking very heavily about this, seeing this.
From a legal standpoint, anything Andrew said,
I
responding
think it needs to
with
be.
what Ms. West said,
I
needs
think
to be stricken off the record.
Yeah, I think
Agreed.
I was going that way. I think everything.
you
Okay,
cannot
excuse me.
interject
Wait,
this
this is between us. I think
keep hitting me.
because Mr. Braun cannot cross-examine Miss West on the statements made by Andrews, they have to be stricken from the record. Correct.
So
in my thought process, that's pretty sound.
we have an unprecedented situation here. All right, that is something that you need to be aware of.
I understand the situation.
The reason that there are things at play here that would not be at play anywhere else.
I understand that.
But
I understand that. But
Judd, Coyote, why do I keep doing that?
That's fine.
Anyhow, Coyote is right.
I think
in any other court, the way the questions were phrased would have absolutely been hearsay. Had the questions been phrased, is X and Y and Z on your report, then
yes,
it's on the report, and the report is a matter of record, and it is sitting there. So it is a very minute detail.
You're not in this
I'm not
conversation.
It is a very minute detail, but Coyote is right about that minute detail. But like I said, I also have to let you know that what we have here is a situation that is highly unprecedented and would not be a situation we would see anywhere outside of this city.
You also run into the problem that a police report is supposed to be a report from a police officer on what happened on the scene, not a sworn testimony from someone to be used in court.
That is true, but police report is something that can be brought in as a record of items that occurred, but it should be taken as that officer writing everything down shortly thereafter and be weighted as such.
Any witness testimony, a statement given under a police report, that's a no. That's slimy, and that'll get thrown out of any court.
I'm not quite so sure about that.
Oh,
I'm gonna be very
definitely
honest
sure
with you.
about that.
I'm gonna be very honest with you.
Unless they're dead, of course.
In all fairness of the law, right now, here and now, the statements made by Andrews in my head and by my logic cannot be questioned or directly questioned by Mr. Braun because Miss West is not here, and because of that, I am leaning more towards striking the testimony from the record.
Well, if you're going to do that, my advice to you would be to bring Andrews back up, because what should have happened is Murphy should have objected to every single one of those questions as hearsay, and you honestly should have sustained them and offered for the district attorney to rephrase, and then they should have rephrased appropriately. In my mind, to do it right, we need to mulligan it and allow the district attorney to ask the questions the correct way and keep them on only the contents of that report. But that's my opinion.
And if we do that, I can make
You're
this
not in this
quicker.
conversation, Miss Martell.
I'm trying. Okay,
You're not
I'm
in this
Martell.
conversation.
I'm trying
I
to
mean,
help
oh,
you.
Katya, I'm sorry.
We need you to be quiet here, Katya.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Breaking fourth walls.
Yeah, I just did it a second ago. Fine. Just fix the walls later.
I'm more willing to stricken it from the record and allow Andrews to come.
My advice would be anything that police report is fine, except for any type of sworn statement given by a person. But anything taken from Mr. Andrews' own personal experience that he put in that report can be brought up in any way. Any sworn statement, unless she's dead.
Right.
And I disagree with that. If it's in the report, it's good to go.
Only things that can be
That's
said
the
in the
case,
report.
then we won't even have witnesses anymore. They'll just do sworn statements onto police reports, and defense attorneys will never have a chance ever again. Go ahead and open that door. See what happens.
No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to have the questions that will only pertain
Let it
from
happen
what's in that
once, then
report.
you open it to happening over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, it's not a sworn statement. You can question the report, fine, but we're not going to have a sworn statement being given by somebody else in the place of someone else. Is my logic sounding that and thinking that?
Stay there, Mr. Pistone.
Like
I'm
I said,
asking both of you.
So the only thing about a police officer's report that is a sworn statement is that the police officer themselves are swearing that this is the truth when they write it down.
Okay.
So that a police report is an affidavit that the officer is saying this is what happened, and they are swearing to that.
This is fucking intense, chat.
Yep.
That's the only part about it that's a sworn statement.
That's
That's
them
why
saying
it's allowable in court.
That's them saying that's what happened. But the statement itself, word for word,
just because
This is fucking
like
intense.
from the person, and it can't be cross-examined in any way.
Everybody can start messing around.
Okay.
This is your one and only warning.
Yeah.
Somebody out or something
So
like that,
that's
you
what
will
we're
be
going to do.
removed.
We're going to stricken it from the record. We'll
Can't hear you, Your Honor.
Can you not hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you. It's just a lot of people.
Okay.
Peanut gallery. Sorry.
Yes, I'm in agreement. We're going to stricken Andrew's testimony. We will allow him to come back up before you call anyone else, Mr. Braun, because we will make sure that is not an error. Now, this is the next thing. That is not an error in court procedure, is it?
I'm sorry.
Oh, him being brought back up?
Yes.
Well, it would be up to the DA whether they want to bring him back up or not.
But I want to know if that because he came back up, he sat back down. I'm stricken his. I'm
No,
gonna stricken
it would be
his.
an area procedure.
Okay,
It's
we wanna make sure.
allowing it's affording the DA an opportunity to correct the mistake.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna stricken it,
But
and
you,
we're
you,
gonna
you
keep
got
it
to the second part. Now, are you going to keep this to the part of just what the officer, what they said happened, or are you going to include Miss West's sworn testimony with that as well?
No, just to what the officer said happened.
There we go.
That's it. Just to what the officer said happened. So off that police report, just what the officer said happened. Y'all understand that?
I just want to make it clear. I can ask him what he wrote in the report.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But I can't ask him questions such as, did Adrian say this to you?
No.
Okay. I understand.
But you can't ask him anything about what he wrote at the statement part.
Yep.
Okay. I understand. Wainer, go ahead.
Nope. Withdrawn.
Bro.
Okay.
I am reluctantly satisfied with the result. I would still like to know why Miss West is not here.
Again.
If it has any bearing on this case,
It
and
doesn't.
it's kept from me, then I'll not be too happy
How
about
would it
that.
have any bearing on this case? Mr. Braun, do you know where she is? Because you are alluding to the fact that you know where she is. So why don't you just say it? Go ahead.
What?
Okay, let's be civil. Okay, let's
Mr.
be
Brian,
civil.
I'll email you later.
Yeah, let's be civil. Okay.
Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Like I said, Murph, there's, and I'm sure you're aware, there's things at play here that wouldn't normally be at play.
Would impact credibility? Absolutely.
Brother, Chang gang bang. What the Storm? What the fuck are you doing, Storm? What are you, Storm? What are you doing, you animal, dude?
How you doing?
Storm, thank you for the
Good news.
50
Is that radio?
gifted
Fuck is that?
subs, Storm.
Okay, order back.
Jesus,
order in
dude.
session.
Thank you. Love you,
Order back in the
man.
court.
Ooh.
Okay, everybody
I
act
can't.
right.
I can't move. I can't move.
Guys, show him extra love and gifts in chat. Storm,
After
you're a fucking
conferring
beast.
with both parties and advice given, we're gonna have Andrew's last testimony stricken from the record, all of it. Okay. Well, with that being
Mr.
said,
Stone.
yes, please keep it down, Mr. Pistone. Thank you.
Can't be happy.
Good shit.
With that being said, we will allow the plaintiff to recall up Mr. Andrews at this time.
Which we would like to do, Your Honor.
Oh, fuck.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Jesus
Mr. Braun,
Christ.
you don't have to wait before you call your witnesses up. We will have Andrews approach the stand once again.
Yo, Pink Floyd,
And
thanks
Mr.
for the 4
Andrews, you are
months.
still
This can
under
do with
oath.
the 8 months. Thank you,
Yes,
dude.
sir.
Murphy, you're a fucking legend.
State troopers.
Okay. Does he need to be sworn in again, Your Honor?
No, he's still under oath.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's true,
Your Honor,
true.
do
no.
you wish for me to re-ask all the questions about Ryan Karthus' statement?
His
Because to save time,
his
we could
testimony.
just-
No, his testimony. has
Yo,
been
Big
stricken
K,
from
what
the
up,
record.
baby?
All right, let's start over.
What's going on, my dude?
All right. Trooper Andrews, did you respond to a 911 call on October 8th, 2019 regarding Adrian West and Kermit the Law?
Yes, I did.
All right. When did you respond to that call?
Later in the incident, when the chase began.
All right. How long did it take Air One to locate the suspected
Chilling,
vehicle?
doing this shit, brother. See if we're
Time
gonna
of
get
the
the death
911.
7 to 10
sentence or not.
minutes.
All right. Where did Air One call out the vehicle's location?
Toledo.
All right. What happens? What happened after the units engaged the suspect's vehicle?
The suspect vehicle fired upon Sergeant Bobby Smith, as I heard over the radio. I then heard a 1013 call come out, and I heard that the vehicle is no longer being pursued by ground units.
All right. Once the suspect's vehicle was disabled, what happened?
All of the suspects jumped out of the vehicle and fled.
All right. Were all 4 of the assailants firing at police?
I believe so, ma'am.
All right. When you searched the suspected vehicle, what did you find?
All right, Chad, stop it, Chad. Let's be
And
nice.
search the vehicle.
Be
I
nice,
just
Chad.
ran to grab Miss West out of the trunk.
Let's be nice, please. Don't let me start
All right.
laughing again.
And what was Miss West wearing?
A white tank top and orange pants.
All right. I'd like to defer to. Let's see.
Gabriel, thank you for the $5
One,
donations.
please
Are we
support
gay? Of
12764
course we are.
version B.
Gabriel,
This is the
thank you so
updated
much for the
version.
5, baby.
Let me just open that up here. I'd advise-
12764, correct?
Yes.
Positive vibes.
And Andrews, if you can also open that to report.
Oh my god, I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry. I'm such an asshole.
Give me a moment to
I
grab
can't
the
stop
report myself.
laughing.
Yes, Your
yeah,
Honor.
if somebody can email that to me.
Sure.
For me, I
Okay.
always ask your guys'
Mr.
input.
Andrews, do you see in the reports on the first page the name Mr. Chang, Mario
VBI does my emails.
Uchiha Jones, and Vinny Pistone? Towards the
Yes,
bottom
ma'am.
of page 2? Okay.
Towards
Can
the bottom
you-
of page 2.
I'm sorry, towards the bottom of page 1, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, I'm
We got
seeing.
Face, thank you for the 10.
Yeah,
Hey,
they
Shots,
listed,
I
yeah.
hope you win this. Thank you so much for the
All right.
$10 donation, dude.
Officer
Much
Andrews,
love,
or
man.
Trooper Andrews, I know it's very lengthy, but can you read the reports? Everything after those
Python,
names?
because I deal with VBI. I'm partnered up with VBI, that's why.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a
To the
full
reports.
partnership with VBI.
Thank
That's
you.
why I
Sure.
deal with only VBI.
I assisted Adrian
it's
West out of the trunk of the
basically-
vehicle. Adrian West advised
what I
that she
do.
had been shot in the stomach. I applied
Chad,
pressure
come on,
to
enough with
Adrian
that
West's
spam, Chad,
wound
chill.
and called for medical assistance over the radio. EMS arrived on scene and transported Adrian West to Pillbox Medical with the above listed suspects to receive further medical treatment. While on scene tending to Adrian West, EMS on scene
Yes,
advised that
Kotex,
Kermit
yes.
had
Nice
succumbed
mode
to his
activated,
injuries.
exactly. Dude.
Once all individuals were medically cleared, I assisted with transporting the suspects to the courthouse to obtain proper identification, then to Mission Row PD. I then met with Adrian West, who advised the following occurred. Adrian was with Kermit and Ryan. They were leaving Benny's and going to PDM to look at cars. They arrived at PDM, parked their vehicle, and masked men pulled up in a generic four-door car. Adrian advised that the same vehicle she was located in
Isn't
was
he
the
doing
same
it
vehicle
again?
that arrived on scene.
Isn't he doing
Adrian
it again?
was shown the picture below and was advised that this may or may not be the vehicle associated. Adrian positively identified the vehicle pictured
Isn't he
below
doing the
as
same
the one that
shit?
arrived on scene with the 4 masked individuals and the one that took her against her will. Gunmen came up. I'm sorry.
Sorry. And then there is an image. What is the image of?
Give me 1 second.
Oh,
I'll
it's
open
the PD report. Okay. All right, Chad. Yeah, that's what. It's the PD report.
Give
Okay,
me a
okay.
picture of the suspect vehicle, ma'am.
Understandable.
Okay, thank you. Continue.
Did they just say?
Gunmen came up, all wearing black, and started pointing guns at them. The masked men told her to get in the trunk of the above pictured vehicle. Fearing for her life, Adrian did as instructed. The masked men then removed Adrian from the trunk and placed her into handcuffs. The masked men then placed Adrian back into handcuffs and closed it. Approximately 5 seconds later, Adrian heard a gunshot. Adrian heard one of the masked men ask what happened to Kermit, and the masked men respond with, "Oh, he said something."
Objection,
men's-
hearsay.
He is reading the report, Your Honor. I'm not. He is simply reading what he wrote.
Yeah, that's gonna be overruled, Mr. Brown. He is reading the report.
Very well.
May I continue?
Yes,
Where were you? He said something. Yeah, the masked men started driving away. Just start from there. Go ahead.
The masked men started driving away. Adrian is unsure how long they were driving for. The masked men pulled her out of the car at the Chumash clothing store and assisted her into the store. The masked men instructed Adrian to change her clothing into the white shirt and orange pants for Bovice Wilkins. Adrian did as she was instructed. Adrian was assisted back into the trunk of the vehicle, and approximately 3 seconds later, she heard all 4 doors close and the car start to drive away. Shortly after, Adrian heard the police following the vehicle. Shortly after, Adrian heard what sounded like bullet holes or bullets striking the vehicle, and the men in the vehicle returning fire. Adrian was struck by a bullet that went through the trunk lid. Adrian felt and heard the vehicle come to a stop and the masked men began to run from the vehicle. Trooper Andrews assisted Adrian out of the vehicle and provided medical attention to her. Adrian advised at no time did the masked men change clothing or vehicles. Adrian advised that at no time did she hear anyone else aside the four masked men that took her. Adrian advised that there was no one else at PDM aside from the individuals mentioned above.
Is this even
Thank you,
allowed?
Trooper
Can he
Andrews.
can he
All
even
right.
read the report? Like what?
All right.
Is that even allowed that he actually could read the fucking report?
Yeah, that report was fucking trash.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
They ain't got shit.
Did they say they had a picture of
In
our
the
car?
police reports,
Oh,
you
that's weird that I
wrote
didn't know
that
what
the
it was.
description given to you was of 4 men dressed in all black with black masks. Is this correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Does this match the description of the suspects who were arrested that day?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Does your report mention anything about Adrian being dropped off and picked up by another group?
No, ma'am.
All right. Does your report
You
state
needed to
anything
object
about
here, say the
Adrian
report is
getting
evidence.
away from her kidnappers and getting picked up by another group?
No, ma'am.
True.
All right. Let's see. How many suspects were detained that day?
4, ma'am.
All right. And when you discovered who they were, who were they?
So one Mr. Chang, Mario LaPipe, Uchiha Jones, Vinny Pistone.
All right. Let's see. Did Bovice Wilkinson come up in your police report?
Yes, ma'am.
Yo, Wad, thank you
Okay.
for the 2 months.
Does it state in your police report that
Not
Adrian
too
West
shabby. Thank
was
you for the
forced
3 months,
to wear a white tank top and orange pants?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it state in your police report that she was forced to do this by the men who kidnapped her?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
She asked questions of in evidence.
All right.
Does it state in the police report that the 4 men who were arrested are the same 4 men who picked her up?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Had Mr. Karthus already been questioned by police before he called him into PD for additional questioning?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you do a lineup of the suspects for Ryan to identify?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened during that lineup?
During that lineup, we had some head problems. The doors to the lineup room were unlocked. The 4 individuals we had detained ran out of the room, ran to where myself, Mr. Karthus, and other deputies were standing and speaking with him. The 4 men were then escorted back to the room, and the doors were locked. We proceeded with the lineup where he denied any of the individuals were involved.
All right. In report number 12764, version B, you wrote that Ryan Karthus told Officer Forcer that he saw 2 men in the vehicle at PDM. Is this correct?
Divine,
Yes, ma'am.
this case is literally
How
SBS
many men
squad,
did Ryan
dude.
tell you that he saw on scene at PDM?
Literally SBS squad,
3
dude.
individuals.
All right. Does that contradict what was told to Officer Forcer as stated in your police report?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you
Pause
seen the
right-
video?
Wait, before you go, how many men did Karthus see that he said that he saw?
He
Missed
told
that number.
Forcer.
They're
he told
literally
Forcer
talking
2
about
and Officer
everything else
Andrews
but the
3.
actual murder, Divine. They haven't. This is the only part of the case
Okay, go
that
ahead.
they
I'm ready.
actually said
All
something
right.
about the actual murder. The
have you
whole,
seen the video evidence submitted
since
by the
8
defense?
o'clock, they've been talking about
Yes, ma'am.
nothing but not the
Alright.
murder. It's like
also in report number 12764,
blowing my
version B,
mind.
you wrote that Ryan stated 3 of them made it. The 3 of them made it approximately 10 feet from the door when a car pulled up. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And who was Ryan indicating at that time as being the 3?
Himself, Kermit the Law, and Miss West.
All right. Does
Jonathan,
that
thank you for the 6
match
months,
what was
baby. I
seen
appreciate
in the
you.
video evidence submitted by the defense?
Yeah,
No,
it's
ma'am.
been literally 3 hours, and this is the
All
first
right.
time they're
Where
actually
is
talking
Ryan
about the
located in the
murder.
video when the masked men
Crazy.
pull up in the vehicle?
He's cowering behind a car.
Okay. Where is Kermit located in the video when the masked men pull up?
Standing next to a yellow pole, maybe 30 feet, 25, 30 feet from the door.
All right. And where is Adrian located in the video when the masked men pull up?
She's right next to the front door.
All right.
Good thing you couldn't even see the front door in the video.
Does the video contradict Ryan's statement of the three of them being about 10 feet from the door?
Oh my god.
Speedy
Yes,
him?
ma'am.
All right.
Let's keep all comments to
let's see.
ourselves, everyone.
What kind of car did Ryan originally report to you pulling up on the scene?
A four-door black sedan.
Okay. Again, police report 12764 version B wrote that Officer Forcer was told by Ryan that, quote, the masked men put Adrian in the trunk of the vehicle. Ryan hid behind his car because he was scared. Is this correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did he tell you the same thing?
Exactly. It doesn't
I believe
prove
so,
that
yes,
the
ma'am.
video wasn't legit.
All right.
Okay,
In the video evidence submitted by the defense, does Ryan hide behind the
Ryan's
vehicle
evidence
before or
can't be
after
trusted.
Adrian is put into the
See you
trunk?
later. Have a good one.
Before.
It has nothing
Okay.
to do with anything of the fucking actual murder. I'm
let's
literally
see.
losing my shit, dude.
About how many times did Ryan change the details of the incident to the police?
Approximately 2 to 3 times, ma'am.
All right. Do you see the pink shafter in the video evidence?
There we go. Which way was
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
Which one was it?
Which way is it
turned?
facing?
There we go.
I believe southbound, ma'am.
All right.
I'm gonna lose my fucking marbles.
Which direction is the person filming this video standing?
They're facing northbound. Or they're
All right.
south to the incident, but they're facing northbound.
Okay. So they are south of PDM.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did Ryan ever report seeing a person filming to you?
No, ma'am.
All right. In anywhere in your police report, did you ever write anything about Adrian seeing a cameraman?
No, ma'am.
All right. At any point during this video evidence, does Ryan face the direction of the person filming?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At any point during the video evidence, do the three masked individuals face southbound?
Slightly, yes, ma'am.
All right. No further questions.
Splainer?
Oh, nothing to add. Thank you, Counselor.
Okay, Brown, you're already ready. Okay, let me prepare the crossing notes.
Sure. Take your time.
Okay, I'm ready.
Mr. Andrews, could you
Sir?
tell me if the vehicle pictured in the photo attached to this police report is a Super Diamond?
Objection relevance.
It is relevant as the video evidence shows a Super Diamond pulling into PDM containing suspects.
Objection's gonna be overruled. Go ahead and answer the question, Mr. Andrews.
The video is saying it's a super diamond. The picture is not a super diamond.
Thank you. Were any of the suspects, upon being detained and arrested, were any of them found to be in possession of an AP pistol?
Don't believe so. I didn't search anyone.
Okay, I will refer everyone to the prosecution's evidence.
Which evidence is that?
Probably the
G.
prosecution's G.
That is prosecution's G.
But I gotta find it. Just make note of it. G is what we're looking for, correct?
Correct.
Yo, Halo Delta, what up, baby? How you doing, dude?
And you want me to note in G that what?
Whether or not there is an AP pistol that was seized as evidence.
Training me
You
right
may
now.
go ahead. So whatever. Okay, I got it.
All right, thank
Only
you.
live for 5 hours, and I'm like literally
Mr. Andrews,
dead tired from this.
were any of the suspects who were detained and arrested at the end of the pursuit found to be in possession of a gnome mask.
Objection, scope.
What? How is that scope?
I failed to see how there's an issue with scope. It's described what the suspects were found to be wearing.
Okay, you may not have asked, but he asked upon searching them, was there an AP pistol? He pointed out to the evidence. He asked about the search, and the search conducted is going to be within the scope of this question, so I'm going to overrule your objection.
Easy.
He was also not the one who searched him, Your Honor, but okay.
Should I answer?
Go ahead and ask the question again, Braun, and then you answer.
Were any of the suspects detained and arrested after the pursuit found to be wearing or in possession of a gnome mask?
Again, I didn't search anybody, so I'm unsure.
Okay. Could you describe the suspects as you saw them?
Objection asked and answered.
African snowball.
I'll be sustained. Go ahead, Mr. Braun.
Did you see any of the suspects wearing a gnome mask?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Check out that clip. Get some stuff.
Trooper Andrews, is an AP pistol automatic?
This is not okay, okay?
What the
You guys can
I believe so.
Okay. This is not okay.
All right. Are any of the weapons
shit looks
in
so
evidence
fucking-
G automatic? All right.
I'd have to
Let me
look
know
at
when
the
you're ready.
evidence. Give me 1 second. Or,
Yeah.
would you
I'll
mind
email
emailing
it to
that to me?
Yep. 1 second.
Go ahead and email me that as well, so that
That
way
shit
I can
actually
look
looks
at it.
legit, too.
Oogie.
Was that?
Please. And thank
Was
you.
that Kevin?
Explainer, do you have that on hand?
Chat.
I
this
just
is
sent it to
not
That's
okay,
Kevin.
okay? You guys
Okay,
cannot
thanks.
be doing
Can you send it to me as
I'd
well?
smash.
Yes,
they were
ma'am.
already looking at it.
Just
I'd
give us the
smash.
death penalty, actually, now that I think about it.
The item submitted is the People's G. Counselor Brown, would you like it as well?
Chang.
What?
I'd smash that picture, by the way.
Fuck yeah.
Would you like me to answer, ma'am?
Yes, if you're ready.
Yes, ma'am, they are.
All right.
Fuck you.
In the video, was the weapon used to shoot Kermit automatic?
Let me check. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Now he checks.
Oh, God, they're in rough with this video.
Does not appear to be automatic, ma'am.
The weapon in the video does not appear to be automatic.
What the fuck? Andrews, are you dumb? Andrews, are you dumb?
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
Sustained.
All right. Does your report say anything about a gnome mask?
All right, Andrews. Andrews is on
Did
our
anyone ever
side.
mention a gnome mask to you?
Ask and answer.
Mr. Karthus did on his triple
just
change
ask
of
that
stories.
twice?
No further questions.
Times.
That last statement, Mr. Karthus.
He just
Say that
lied.
again.
Motherfucker just lied.
Like triple change of what?
On his third change of the story, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Karthus on the third. Just repeat what you just said so I can note it.
Gee, would you
Yes,
smash?
Mr. Karthus mentioned a no mouse.
I'm more interested in that version.
On the third change of his story, Your Honor. That's what he said.
You may step down.
Chang.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Chang.
What?
She's more.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yo,
Okay.
Brad,
Mr. Ron.
Brad
the
FTW,
defense.
thank you for the 3 months,
Are
dude.
you
I
ready to call
appreciate you,
your first
brother.
witness?
Hell yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
You got him.
You may call them now.
I would like to call Ryan Karthus to the stand.
Oh,
Finally, here we go.
Mr. Karthus, go ahead and step up, please.
Ooh, get him off. God. Get him off.
Oh shit! I didn't think he was.
Swear Mr. Karthus in, brother.
Wait, I didn't.
Mr. Karthus, will you please raise your left hand?
I
for me,
thought
sir?
he wasn't a credible witness.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you sin.
I do.
Your Honor, this witness has been sworn in.
I thought he wasn't a credible witness.
You may begin, Mr. Braun.
Oh, my goodness. Finally, we get to talk to someone who was actually there. How are you doing today, Mr. Karthus?
Objection, misstatement of testimony.
I asked him how he was doing.
That wasn't. It was to the initial comment, Mr. Braun. You are making pointed statements.
Okay, let's go ahead and keep the statements to questions and everything, Mr. Braun.
Well, certainly.
Thank you, please, thank you.
But that was leading to my first question, Mr. Karthus, which is, were you present when Mr. Kermit DeLaw was shot and killed outside of PDM?
Yes, I was.
Good. Maybe you can clear some things up for us. Now,
Murphy's a
Mr.
douchebag,
Karthus,
dude.
As stated in these police reports, you were with Miss West and Mr. DeLaw, as you had put it, shadowing them.
How epic would it be if Ryan yelled out
could
"Bo
you
Vice World" at the end of the
elaborate
court?
on
The judges
how
were
you were
class
shadowing
too?
them?
That would be insane.
I think a week back they put an ad in the paper saying that Kermit needed a friend and an assistant ADA, and I thought it was a good opportunity to expand my horizons and maybe try out to be assistant to the ADA.
So you were in this a sort of internship program with them?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up. So, to the best of your recollection, Mr. Karthus, what occurred around the time you reached PDM with Miss West and Mr. DeLaw?
I pulled up. I was following them. We were talking, and they wanted to see cars. I got out of the car with them. And Kermit was standing next to the car, and Adrian started walking towards the entrance to PDM.
Spit it out, Ryan.
And that's when the car pulled up. And I was kind of right next to Kermit, and Adrian was closer to the door than us. And the car basically came between us that they pulled up in. And they put her in the trunk, and they shot Kermit.
Oh, Raw Dog. So you're saying like this case, Raw Dog?
Okay,
Is that
when
what
you
you're
say
saying?
they shot Kermit,
One individual shot Kermit.
one individual shot Kermit. Thank you.
Yes.
Do you recall what these individuals looked like, what they were wearing?
Yes. They were wearing, basically, two of them were in generic black attire with the, at the time I called them masks with visors, but they were 100% the paintball masks. And one had a gnome mask, also dressed in black.
Okay. And do you recall what they were driving?
At the time, I didn't know the name of the car, but it is a Super Diamond. I described it to the police as a longer-looking Glendale, because that was what I was familiar with at the time, but it was a black Super Diamond.
Okay. So, after Kermit was shot and West was put in the trunk of the car, what happened next?
I tried to apply as much pressure as I could to Kermit. I did make sure to call the police right when it happened. And I put as much pressure as I could on his the bullet holes in his chest.
Just make him believe he's crying.
I made multiple calls. No one came right away in my mind. It felt like an eternity before anyone actually came. But as the EMS said earlier, she said it was only like 45 seconds before she made it there. Law enforcer was the person who.
Hang on. I want to stop you there, and I do have another question. While you were keeping pressure on Kermit's wounds and waiting for help, how would you describe your state of mind at that time?
Hysterical.
So, safe to say pretty far from calm.
100%. A lot of adrenaline pumping through my blood at that point.
Can I ask if that's the first time you'd ever seen someone die?
Objection relevance.
I'm establishing the state of mind of Mr. Karthus at the time this incident took place.
Which is not relevant to this case.
It is certainly relevant.
It is not.
Actually,
I'm
really
I'm gonna
is.
overrule you, Miss Katya, but let's go ahead and get to your point there.
That's
Mr. Brown.
very relevant. What? What is she? Did she?
But he
smoke
can answer
something?
the question, correct?
Yeah, Oh, objection's overruled. He can answer the question, but let's try and make your point though quickly.
I just want to know if that's the first time you'd ever seen someone expire with your own eyes.
In front of me like that. I mean, I killed a clown in self-defense once, but it was nothing like that. That was this one was traumatizing. The clown was trying to kill me, so it was different.
Okay. We don't need to know about the clown necessarily, but anyway. So
Kill the clown.
about how long did it take for first responders to arrive, Mr. Karthus?
In my mind, it felt like an eternity, but realistically, 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, who was the first on scene?
Law enforcer.
Okay, and upon arrival, what did you observe her doing?
She was trying to pull me off of him. She was trying to calm me down and get information.
When did Rami die?
The EMS, when the EMS came, that was when I finally trusted myself to let Kermit go into the hands of someone who was qualified to care for him.
Okay, so even as Miss Forcer was attempting to question you, you were still trying to assist Mr. DeLaw?
Yes, I had no
Objection
idea if he was
asked and
gonna live.
answered and leading.
I'm clarifying if that's what he meant, as she was questioning him, if he was still rendering aid to Mr. DeLaw or not.
He's being led to the answer, Your Honor.
He did mention that she was trying to get him off of him.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sustain the objection that was asked and answered already. I see the point that you're trying to make too, Mr. Brown.
I just want everything to be clear, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
I just want to.
Okay, so once Mr. DeLaw was transferred over to EMS for treatment, what occurred after that?
She was trying to get as much information out of me as possible. At the time, I said there was 2 to 3.
Oh, this ain't SBS.
assailants.
Our life
I
on the line.
don't know what state of mind I was in, but later when she questioned me at Vinewood PD, this was maybe 30 minutes to an hour later, I did confirm to her that it was 3 assailants.
Okay, had you calmed down by that point in time?
Yes.
About how long after the murder of Kermit DeLaw did you go to Vinewood PD?
About 1 hour.
About 1 hour.
And 1.5.
Okay. So what happened once you got to Vinewood?
I gave my statement to Lauren.
Okay.
Shit.
Do you recall that statement?
I'm gonna drink some more G Fuel, chat. Make sure you use code SHOTS.
I recall bawling through it. I was trying to tell her everything that happened, and it was like I was reliving the incident as it was happening.
Your Honor, The answer is narrative. He
He's
asked a simple
crying
question.
again.
And he's not actually
hold on,
answering the
excuse,
question.
hold on. Is that a objection?
Yes, the objection is the answer is narrative. He asked a simple question, which the witness hasn't even answered yet.
Yeah, G Fuel's actually really good, Breno. Yeah, I enjoy it a lot, dude.
Okay, sustain. Go ahead and ask the question. Let's answer the question simply. What is your name again? Karthus.
Mr. Karthus.
Yes.
Mr. Karthus, do you recall the statement you gave at Vinewood PD?
I recall.
It's a yes or no.
I recall.
That's
the
a yes or
incident.
no.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
My favorite is
Perfect.
it for the scoop.
Would you care to paraphrase that statement as it was given?
The powder, I would say the strawberry banana, can sour cherry.
I told her all about how I was shadowing them and that I basically the Adrian was walking towards the door to PDM. Kermit was just standing there. I guess they were talking, or he was doing something in his head, and then they pulled up and said hands up. They brought Adrian to the back. I was
the hell is this? What is
cowering
that?
under my
Hot
under
dumbass.
the front of their car as Andrews said it, and they put Adrian in the trunk, and they had Kermit also cuffed up. Kermit says, "You're just going to leave me here." They say to him, "Shut up, or we'll shoot you." And then, as they're about to drive off, he says, "Does this count?"
Yeah,
too?"
so yeah,
And
Joe,
then
it's in
they,
it's in
get one-
Massapequa,
the
Joe.
person in the passenger gets out and shoots him
They're based out of Massapequa.
Okay.
with the AP pistol.
You said AP pistol, correct?
Yes.
Oh, West Babylon. I'm
Yes,
sorry. Yes, West Babylon. Sorry about that. Yeah.
The police were asking me about this. There's a distinct difference between an AP pistol and a Tech 9 with the flash suppressor.
Objection, opinion of a layperson.
Sustain.
The fuck does that even mean?
All right. So, after you gave your statement, did they have any further questions for you?
Joe is that's my boy
They
Sub-Zero.
want me to identify.
Me and
the,
Joe. I actually
the people
started
later
RPing
on,
with Sub-Zero when
who
I
they had
first started
caught and
RPing like
believed
over
were
3 years ago.
responsible.
The aforementioned lineup, right? So, what occurred with this lineup? I know there were some issues. I'd like to get your perspective.
Objection leading. Yeah, necessary comments do not need to be added. He's leading them to
I'm
the
gonna
answer.
agree. I'm gonna agree. Objection sustained. Go ahead and reword your question there, Mr. Braun.
What happened at the lineup, Mr. Karthus?
Before the lineup or at the lineup?
Once you were there, what did you
Once
observe?
I was in the room waiting to identify them. I said, "Why is there 4 of them?" And they didn't want me to talk out loud, so I was communicating via notes. And then I said to them, "This is absolutely not them." One of them for sure had a no mask. If this was all of them, then one of them would have had to change they would have all had to change their masks, and they would have also had to put on vests because the people at the at PDM did not have vests on. So they would have first had to pick up someone new, and then they would have had to change their outfits entirely.
And what was their response to that?
They brought me upstairs and they kept questioning me. They showed me the picture of that car that they were found in, I guess. And they asked me if that was the car. I said no. The car that I saw did not have that diamond on the back of it. the flashy.
You're right, Big Cat. That is clutch, dude.
Did anything else occur before you left the PD to resume your life?
Could you please ask it again?
I'm saying, did that conclude the interview, or was there more?
I mean,
You
that
guys
was
actually
pretty
do
much
it? Yeah.
They did pull me to the side
we actually
upstairs to talk with me about it and get my recollection of events.
Okay. Let me think. I have nothing
Looks
further
like
for
he
you,
looks like a
Mr.
baby.
Karthus, for right now.
He looks like a baby. Look at him.
Miss Katya, I assume you want to cross.
Mm-hmm.
This is off.
All right. Mr. Karthus, you interviewed for a position as an assistant with the ADA Kermit DeLaw and former DA Adrian West. Is this correct?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Karthus, is this you in this video attached by the defense?
The one where I'm wearing a red shirt?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Chat, stop
and
it,
right
chat.
before the fatal
Be
shooting,
nice.
you met them at the car wash. Is this true?
Yes.
And it was your idea to go to Premium Deluxe Motorsports, correct?
No. They were going there themselves.
They were going there themselves, and you decided to tag along.
Yes.
All right.
I actually asked them if they wanted me to wash their car for them so they didn't have to spend the $50.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
That.
In your
Be
testimony to police, or in your statement to police, you stated that they started walking towards PDM to see if anyone was inside. They hadn't even made it to the door when a car pulled up. Is that correct?
Don't let me hit the emo mode, chat. Do not
I
make me
don't
hit that
recall,
emo mode.
saying that we were walking together.
I never asked you that.
Oh, because I was in the room when you had mentioned that, so.
Did you state to police that Adrian was walking towards the door to PDM and had not even made it to the door before the car pulled up?
It's a yes or no question, Mr. Karthus. Please answer
I stated
simply.
it here. I don't know what I stated to police.
Turtle, what the hell are you doing, Turtle?
Mr. Karthus, that's a yes or no question.
Then yes.
Okay, so even though you just recalled both incidents of you speaking to police, you do not recall stating this.
I did not walk up to the door to PDM with Adrian.
That is not what I am asking you, sir.
Okay. Please restate the question.
I am asking you if you told police that Adrian had not made it to the door before the car was
Yes.
up.
Yes.
All right, so you did say that.
Yes.
Okay. Yet in the video, we can clearly see Adrian West make it to the front door of PDM. Do you wish to answer my previous question again?
She didn't go inside.
Your Honor?
I didn't ask you
Objection?
if she went inside.
Okay, go
Asked
ahead.
and answered?
There's a objection on the table. Asked and answered.
I didn't
yeah.
ask this question.
You
restate the
said
question.
you literally said to answer the same question you asked again. That was your question.
No.
That is the very definition of asked and answered.
Okay. Re-ask your question again, Ms. Katya, so that way I know whether to sustain or overrule this objection.
Okay, so my question was, in the video, we can clearly see Adrian West make it to the front door of PDM. Do you wish to answer my previous question again?
Asked and answered.
I'm confused, Your Honor.
It's fine. We're getting this done. You want to re-ask the previous question? Yeah, that's
I'm
going to
giving
be
him
asked
an
and answered.
opportunity to
To answer the question a second time. Asked
with
and answered.
the truthful answer, Your Honor.
Yes.
Well, I can leave the second part out.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sustain your objection, Mr. Braun.
Thank you.
All right. So let me leave the second part of the question out, since that is the asked and answered part. In the video, we can clearly see Adrian West make it to the front door of PDM. Is this correct?
I need to rewatch the video if you're asking me.
Yeah, go ahead and rewatch it.
All right, I'm watching the video now, and it is not clear whether or
Is
not
a
she made
yes
it to
or
the...
no question.
All right, please ask the question again.
Does she make it to the front door in that video?
No.
Okay. In your statement to police, you said, quote, they put Adrian in the vehicle, then I hid behind the car. Is that correct?
I don't know the exact progression of things. No.
So you didn't say that to police?
Are we talking about... Because I gave my testimony to law enforcer at the scene of the incident when it happened, and I don't know exactly what I said. I don't.
Mr. Karthus, you were just recalling everything that you had discussed with Miss Forster.
Yes, but
Objection, badgering the witness.
I'm trying to
that's
clarify
gonna-
for him,
okay.
Your Honor.
You have a statement.
And plus, he is already hostile. Badgering does not apply to
calm,
me.
and then you have
Okay.
Okay.
a statement when you guys are already threatening.
Mr.
me.
Karthus.
Okay, Mr.
There was an
Karthus,
objection
there's
on
an
the floor.
objection on the table.
Alright, that is enough.
You
I have
need to
no
calm
idea.
down,
Okay.
Mr. Karthus. There's an objection on the table. Badgering is what it is.
She's molding right now.
Sustain it. Let's go ahead and
My
try and
rebuttal
keep
to
things.
that, Your Honor, is
Okay.
that this is
She's
Mr.
molding.
Braun's witness, and he is inherently hostile to me, which means battery does not apply.
The fuck?
Okay.
What the?
Okay. With that being said,
Hostile.
Okay. From here on, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to sustain the objection, but on the grounds that things need to remain civil between the two of y'all. Okay. You will answer the questions directly, Mr. Karthus. Okay.
Okay.
Without giving this wishy-washy answer. Okay. Because you've been up here giving these weird wishy-washy answers, and I don't like it. So answer directly when you're asked the question.
Look at Rami and Randy.
Miss Katia, let's go ahead and let's proceed, and let's be civil.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. So I may re-ask my question again then, right? Because I never got an answer.
Oh, he
Please
sustained
restate
it.
your question.
Okay. In your statement to police, you said, quote, they put Adrian in the vehicle, I hid behind the car. Is this correct?
Yes.
All right. But that is not what happened in this video, correct?
I don't know.
Did you watch the video?
Yes, I did.
Okay, go ahead and rewatch it. Do you get into the car before or after Adrian is put into the trunk in the video, sir?
I don't get into any car.
I'm sorry, hide behind the car.
I am in front of the car. I'm behind Kermit the whole time.
Yes or no? Do you hide behind the car before or after Adrian is put into the vehicle?
That's not a yes or no
She's
question.
treated like a
Objection.
fucking child.
On what grounds?
Okay.
Objection
I
that it's not a yes or no
okay.
question. It's not one. So she's
So I can
gotta...
reword, Your
Okay.
Honor, if Murphy's gonna...
All right. Well, if you want to reword, okay. Objection sustained. Go ahead and reword.
All right.
She's treated.
In the video, do you hide behind Kermit's car before or after Adrian is put in the trunk?
Before.
Okay, does this match what you told the police?
It should.
It should. Mr. Karthus, you just stated that you hid behind the car after she was put in the trunk.
If you're looking at the
Two
video, the
questions
same
prior.
video that I'm looking at, then you can see my head poking out, and you can see me observing her after I've already ducked behind the car.
Which doesn't match the answer that you just gave me 2 questions ago.
I don't recall.
Okay, so now you don't recall.
You're confusing
Asked
me.
and answered, Your Honor.
I think I made my point, Your Honor. I want to move on.
Yes, please move
What
on.
point
Objection
exactly is that?
sustained.
What's
Mr.
happening here
Mr.
is
Brown.
very clear, so... let's see.
Hey, what's
In
happening?
the video,
Why don't
you're
she
seen
express
several
herself?
times facing the street, as well as facing the individual who was filming the scene, who was holding up traffic. Why was he not mentioned in your police statement?
Because I was not looking there. Maybe I turned around, but that was just the circumstances of that time.
What does that mean?
I
Can you
mean,
elaborate?
if I turn like this, am I looking at the wall behind me?
I would hope so. If
Well,
you're
it
turned
wasn't.
that way.
I was
So-
simply turning.
Alright, 1 second here.
What the?
Okay, so just to reiterate, because I'm still not really clear on the answer, you did not see the man even though you were facing him? or woman? Man or woman, excuse me?
The person filming?
Yes.
I didn't even know we were being filmed.
Okay. At the beginning of the vehicle, you are seen walking behind a parked car and ducking down before the masked individuals even open the door to step out of the car. Why is that?
They're screaming.
What were they screaming?
Put your hands up.
They were screaming, put your hands up before they
Yes.
stepped out of the vehicle?
Yes.
Got her.
All right.
Got her. Next. Next question.
Ryan, how many men were present?
Myself and Kermit included.
How many, yeah, sure.
Should be 5, assuming that all the kidnappers were men.
Okay. In your statement to PD, you state that they pointed their guns at Adrian and handcuffed Kermit. Yet you were not threatened or put in handcuffs. Is this correct?
Yes.
All right. Brian, how many times was Kermit shot?
5 times. At least 5 times.
Okay, and did you state that to the police?
Yes.
All right. And did you see 5 gunshot wounds to Kermit?
I believe so.
Where were the gunshot wounds located?
Upper left chest.
All right. Were any injuries? Were there any injuries to his face or head?
Not that I saw at the time, but things in my eyes can be different because I was trying to get a response from him and he wasn't responding to me.
Okay. Ryan, why does your statements to police completely contradict what was in the video?
Objection, speculation.
I'm asking him to speculate things that he stated to the police
Yeah, you're
versus what
asking
he
him to
saw in a
speculate.
video.
That's speculation.
Wow. Who would have thought?
I'm not asking him to speculate.
Okay,
I'm
hold.
questioning your objection, Murphy.
You're asking him why
No.
there are inconsistencies in the video and his version of events.
She really doesn't know.
Your Honor, may I rebut?
It's a pretty abstract question.
No. I'm trying to think on whether I want to overrule or sustain this.
What the fuck is going on?
Well, I haven't rebutted yet.
Have you not?
No, I'm not asking him to speculate anything. I am asking him to recall
She
what he told
legit
police
just said
versus
it.
what he sees in the video.
No, you're asking him to tell
Okay.
you why there are inconsistencies.
Okay. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and want to
Stay in it.
overrule the objection. I kind of want to hear this.
What?
I'm out. Yo,
All
good luck,
right.
Chang. I'm going home.
Can I leave?
Take care.
So, can I answer?
You may.
Yep, go ahead.
I would say because I was hysterical when the statements were given.
Taken. We're
Okay.
taken, Ryan.
Speaking of statements to the police, your story changed several times during that fatal night. Is this true?
I would think not.
Earlier, you stated that you may have
Yo, Jason,
said
thank you for the
that
gifted
a car
sub,
looked
baby.
a similar way, but then later you said that you knew what the car was. Also, the number of men. Does that ring a bell?
Can we take a
Yeah,
recess?
well,
I need my brain cells back.
Yes.
when my hands were covered in Kermit's blood when I gave that initial statements, my concerns weren't over the exact details in the spur of the moment, but rather over whether or not Kermit was going to live. They had to calm me down at the time to even get me to speak about details for the car, and Forcer pleaded with me to speak with her at Vinewood PD so that she could get all the details in a formal statement.
Okay.
I did correct myself to her, and this was
Ryan, I'm looking
only
for a
after...
yes or no answer. Did your statements change, yes or no? To
She
police.
wants a yes or
Did your
no.
statements change?
Before she wanted him to speculate.
Maybe.
Bro, what is this?
Yes or no? Maybe
I
it's
don't
not
know.
an answer.
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
You
I don't
don't
even know what
know?
the police wrote down.
Murphy, she's fucking badgering the witness.
Ryan, you already admitted
I
to
know.
the fact that you were hysterical and may
Oh,
have given the
man.
police
Objection,
details.
badgering the witness.
Again, he's hostile
Okay.
towards me inherently.
He's answering. See, this is
You're
the
just
thing.
saying stuff
he's
to
not
him. Ask him
answering.
a question.
He said
He's
maybe
not answering the
he's-
question.
Is this
Okay,
time?
Mr. Karthus, you want to answer the question?
I've
Yes
never
or no?
molded this hard in my
Stop
life.
using baby.
And then when he says,
The
I don't know,
objection
I
for you,
recall.
Mr. Brown. Okay, the
Mhm.
objection for you, Mr. Brown, is going to be overruled. Answer the question, Mr. Karthus. Yes or
What
no?
the fuck are you even saying, Judge? Are you even more stupid than her? Holy shit, dude. What is
If my
going
statements
on?
had ever changed, it was
Yes
because the police
or
were asking me.
no? Yes or no?
Look, she's treating him like a
I don't know.
fucking child. What's
I don't
wrong
know what
with
the
her?
question is at this point.
She's the
that
hostile
you're
one.
asking.
Okay, re-ask your question, Miss Katia.
Did your statements to police change at all during that night, like you had admitted earlier on the stand?
Yo,
I don't
Fat
recall. I
Dad,
don't
thank
even
you
know
so
what
much
the
for
fuck
the
she
2
said.
months, dude. I appreciate that.
Mr. Karthus. Your Honor,
He
Mr.
said
okay.
he doesn't recall, so he gave you his
He doesn't
answer.
recall, but he
recall.
answered this question earlier. All right, well, I'll
You're
just hold him in perjury
confusing
once
him.
Yeah.
Once
at
I'm
this
done
point, let's
questioning,
go ahead
I'll
and
call
move-
for perjury.
let's go
Don't
ahead
worry.
and move forward.
Perjury, you
Bro,
should
I
be
made
put in there for
Damn,
fucking
balding.
perjury.
All right,
He's so
let's
mad.
see.
Bro, fucking kill me, bro. Honestly. You wanna start a
Bro, I
riot?
just came out of jail. Jail was more fun than this shit.
Mr. Karthus, did you ever mention a Granger to any of the police?
No, Jerry Calla did.
All right.
Nice. Way to get it mixed up.
Good one, dude.
Let's see. Okay, so after the initial incident with the lineup where, you know, the scuffness happened, as you would say, is it after that incident that you stated to police that one of the men were wearing a no mask?
That was the first
The
time. I
razor
got to-
blades
yes,
in here.
Yes.
Okay.
Vinny, no, don't use them. At the razor blades for the mold.
Oh, I thought you meant for your throat.
Did you mention that to the original officer that came on scene?
Lauren?
Yes.
The love.
I did not.
Okay. Did you tell her that they were wearing all black?
I don't recall.
Okay, so
Why? Choked me to death.
okay. Let's see.
What the fuck are you doing?
Shouldn't she have stuff written?
She doesn't know. She doesn't know what speculation is. That's all written down.
Quiet, please.
Yeah, no further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Would you like to redirect, Mr. Brown?
I actually have nothing further for Mr. Karthus, and I do request a brief recess. Maybe 7 or 8 minutes. I think everybody needs a bathroom break.
Yes, I'm going to agree with you. Let's go ahead and
shop
go ahead and step
and get
down,
you
Mr.
bowled
Karthus.
for the
Let's have a,
molding.
recess is going to be.
Yo, can we go to the barber shop?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Hallelujah.
Can we go to the barber shop so I could shave my head?
I gotta pee.
Explainer.
This is the video. You
Yeah, I
guys
need a
never seen the
working,
video.
Email or a link to the video of Dupre as well.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Yep.
Yeah, I need you guys to fish it out for me and then send it to me, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Just give me one moment. I'll fetch it from the docket.
Okay, thank you.
That's the thing,
I'm
right?
able to
Now, if
view
you
it,
look at this
straight
chat,
off the
right?
docket.
You can't even see the
interwebs
front
is,
door.
It's real hard for.
You can't even
it's real
see the
hard.
front door.
It's a unlisted video
what
for
are you-
privacy concerns. So
what are
you
you
may need a direct
seeing?
link to it, Your Honor. I'll get it for you.
Yep.
I got it for the Your Honors.
Like, why would she keep talking about the front door? You can't even see it in the video. Hello? Like,
Yes. What do you crowd me for? Jesus.
They smell like vanilla. Leave me alone.
You can't even see a front door.
Does that link work, Your Honor?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you a better version of it, quick, so you can see it.
What are you got your hands on me for? Hey, what are you bringing me?
Case without a proof gang
I didn't do.
Finder, no phones in the courtroom, everybody.
But you can't see the front door at all in the video. That's number one, right? So how could she kept bringing up about a front door? Can't even fucking see it in the video.
Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead, Mr. Brown. If there's things that you want to highlight and point out, please do
Yo,
so
Krieger,
now.
thank you so much for the 6 months, baby. Free Chang.
I
gang,
would just
very
like
true.
to point out the many inconsistencies that have been brought to bear in examination, such as the description and make and model of the vehicles shown in the video versus the photograph. The weapon shown being used on Mr. DeLaw does appear to be an AP pistol. No AP pistol was recovered in the contents of my client's belongings on their capture, as well as the depiction of the video with the no mask lining up with Mr. Karthus's statement and testimony, and mismatching with the statements given by
He says
the absent
he
Miss
don't
West.
need to. I'll be right back, Check. Give me a second.
I'm sorry, the no mask mentioned by Karthus, not mentioned by West.
Correct.
Just so you know, because I'm taking notes as what you say, inconsistencies in vehicle, weapons, and description.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to note?
In terms of examination of evidence, no, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you resting at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense rests.
Okay. Defense is rest. Everything in. Now, I will now have closing statements. Plaintiff, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I tried to make this short, but there's a lot to go over, so apologies.
No, you take as much time, make your statement as needed. It's fine.
All right. If you need me to stop at any point.
Scorch, what's
or
going
anything
on
like
with
that,
all the
just let me know,
bands,
okay?
Scorch?
Okay.
What's actually
All
going
right.
on with all the bands
Your
and
Honor,
shit?
people of the court today, we are hearing a case where murderers and participants in a terrorist organization under the name of Volvice World and threats to the general public itself are being brought forth to face accountability for their actions. On October 8th, these four defendants ruthlessly murdered
People
the
being
chief
logged
ADA,
as
Kermit
hating on
DeLaw.
streamers and on this,
The defense has submitted video evidence that is a failed attempt to lead this court falsely astray, as it directly contradicts simple details that both Ryan Karthus and Adrian West, as reported in Tony Andrews' police report, described to the police. In fact, there are several misleading details within the video itself. First, Ryan describes to police that there are only 2 men in the vehicle. How many men are in this vehicle in the video? 3. He also tells police that himself, Kermit, and Adrian were all 10 feet away from the door before the masked men pull up. What happens in this video instead? Adrian is at the door of PDM. Kermit is next to his
Can't even
vehicle,
see the
nowhere
door.
near the door of PDM, and Ryan
Can't
is
even see
already
the door,
crouching
hello.
and hiding behind behind Kermit's car before the men even open the doors to the car and step out. Additionally, twice in this video, Ryan Karthus is seen directly facing the person recording this altercation across the street. Kermit's car was facing the individual as well, so he and Adrian must have also been facing the cameraman when they pulled up to PDM. The 3 men in this video, all at one point, are facing the general direction of which the cameraman is standing. You expect this court to believe that not one person during this altercation noticed this? You expect Kermit's death to be excused due to the laziness of the defendant's attempt to cover up their actions. In this video, it is clearly seen
What?
that whoever is recording this video is standing in the
Is she
street holding
dumb?
up traffic, but no one noticed.
Who would If you're
Ryan
doing a
Karthus is
kidnapping,
wearing
who
a
would
bright
look for a
red
person
shirt that wasn't
videoing?
seen by the kidnappers or
Hello?
handcuffed by them out of fear
Who
of him
worries about
contacting the
people
police and
videotaping
foiling
when
their
you're trying to
plans?
kidnap people?
Why was he given special treatment? So, Your Honor, I have two stances on this. Either the video is fake and Ryan Karthus aided in the cover-up of Mr. DeLaw's murder, or Ryan Karthus is a liar and intentionally gave police wrong information over and over again to aid in a cover-up. As read in the police report, Ryan Karthus gave several statements to police, and every statement he gave was different from the last, which all differ from the video. I can understand a few things being out of line with the video, but the fact that his entire statement to the police is so opposite to what is shown in this video gives me no doubt of his guilt as well. As I pointed out earlier, before arresting, Vods is a threat.
What
to
does this
state
have to do
and
with a
therefore
terrorism
terrorist
charge?
By definition of the penal code.
She's talking about
Mr.
Ryan. What does
Pisone
that have to do with
and Mr. Lepepe,
a terrorism
along
charge?
with two unknown participants, willingly assisted in active terrorism in the form of
Okay,
kidnapping
here we go.
and delivering of Senior Officer Angel to Vods Wilkinson, just as they were doing with Miss West. They have now been caught doing it a second time, and their only call to innocence is a very badly botched video of which matches no descriptions
Actually,
given
I
to the
got
police
caught.
by the
I
two
got caught
surviving
3 times,
witnesses.
honey. I got
Vods
caught 3 times, by
Wilkinson
the way.
is a terrorist,
Not 2 times.
and these defendants knew it, and they offered their helping hand not once, but twice.
Yo, is Ryan on trial?
I also want to touch on the timeline. Adrian was without a doubt rescued from the 4 defendants called to trial on trial today on October 8th. Officer Smith and Senior Officer Angel, along with Tony Andrews, confirmed that there was a span of about 10 to 15 minutes between the 911 calls of the murder and the officers gaining eyes on the defendants heading north on Great Ocean Highway to Toledo. And in the barn. Oh, excuse me. The defense suggests that somebody completely different from the defendants kidnapped Adrian from PDM, yet nowhere in Miss West's report or the police report referenced 12764 A or B. Does it mention her ever getting away from her kidnappers and being picked back up by another group? If the defense is expecting us to believe that they randomly came upon Miss West,
Yeah, she
why is
definitely
the
needs to
opposite
die.
reflected in the statement of the victim? Why was there no explanation given by the defense as to where and why Miss West was picked up by the defendants? Because it didn't happen, not the way they're saying it happened. Again, the defense expected the court to be stupid enough to believe surface-level evidence rather than use our common sense and examine the evidence provided. I am forced to assume that the defense is trying to tell us that within a 10 to 15-minute time span, Adrian was kidnapped, dressed up, and dropped off just in time for the defendants to come upon Miss West, while also driving a vehicle and dressed in attire that matched the suspects in the initial report from the kidnapping and murder at PDM.
Gotta give
Almost
Rami to
done.
go ahead.
The defendant shot Kermit DeLaw in the chest, and not in the face, as this video also suggests. And they made Adrian change in a Vods World fashion in Chumash. Exactly what they did to Senior Officer Brittany Angel. They headed north, where they were shortly discovered by Air 1 and a police chase ensued. There is no physical way that there was a second party involved unless all parties here can travel at a warp speed. Your Honor, members of the court, I know you are not stupid. I know you will look at all the evidence provided before you today and realize that the defendants are guilty on all charges.
They didn't
In this
prove not
instance,
one thing in this
Not
whole
only are the defendants
case.
guilty of terrorism in the form of aiding and abetting escaped death row inmate Vods Wilkinson, but they are guilty of murder by several counts. I would also like to bring the court's attention to the
She
felony
literally
murder
has
rule,
no
which states
evidence at
if a
all on
murder
us.
occurs
That's the funny
during
part.
the commission of a felony, that death is automatically elevated to murder, not manslaughter.
Yo, Genevieve,
Today,
what up,
we
baby?
have proved that the defendants are not only guilty of felony murder, but everyone in that vehicle, except for the hostage, is guilty of accessory to the murder of Associate District Attorney Kermit DeLaw.
Murder weapon was never
Your Honor, we
recovered.
have proved today that the defendants have shown that they are willing and able to do anything and everything to escape accountability for the atrocious crimes they have committed. including faking evidence in order to gain their freedom. I implore the courts to use this opportunity to take these violent, murderous felons off of the street forever. Thank you.
She literally didn't bring any evidence to that we did it. She used a fucking she literally used a
Your
video
Honors,
for her evidence.
ladies and gentlemen
That's
of
all
the
she
court.
used.
We've been here about 4.5 hours, so forgive me if I'm a little tired, but I have to break it to you that we've wasted our time here today. And, you know, a lot of you have things to do and places to be.
What up,
and,
Shave? What up, baby?
I'm sorry, but this has all been a waste of time, and I will get to that in a moment. But first, the case on its face. Somewhere in the meandering conspiracy theory that the prosecution has just laid out with spurious, uncorroborated connections to this Bovice fugitive and apparently his network of terrorist agents and sleeper cells. What this case boils down to from the prosecution's end is they've proved that there are a lot of inconsistencies and different details floating around in this case. Now, what I like to call those is reasonable doubt. Love reasonable doubt. I can work with reasonable doubt. There is enough reasonable doubt in this case on its face to fill a swimming pool. So let's take a dip. The prosecution has provided no eyewitness testimony whatsoever to the shooting of Kermit DeLaw. Only the subsequent emergency response and grid search and pursuit that netted the apprehension of my clients. There is a gulf of critical information and reasonable doubt that is missing from the time the suspects in Super Diamond left PDM and when my clients were found in some other such type of black sedan with different outfits up in Toledo, which I think ended up near Stab City when they were apprehended. Point being, the details do not add up. I said at the beginning of this case that the burden of proof is on the prosecution for a reason. The prosecution
Don't write
owes
that,
a duty to the people
You know better than that,
to
dude.
seek the truth and to find justice. The prosecutor in a criminal case is not at liberty to select out a part of an entire transaction which makes the case against the defendant and then to put the defendant to the proof of the other part. The prosecuting officer represents the public interest, which can never be promoted by the conviction of the innocent. All the witnesses present at the transaction should be called by the prosecution before the prisoner is put to his defense. The prosecution has failed to put on the stand either of the key eyewitnesses to the crime at hand. Miss West, for reasons unknown, has not appeared to give her version of events, and for whatever reason, the prosecution has declined to call the one eyewitness who saw the entirety of the shooting, Mr. Karthus, because there were some inconsistencies in his telling. Now, I would like to bring to mind the testimony given by officers, as
Alpha,
well as
thank you so
Mr.
much for the
Karthus,
6 months, dude.
that he mentioned a no mask in his statements. Nowhere in the police reports that were provided by the prosecution is it mentioned in any of his statements given that there was a no mask. And that is because law enforcement and the district attorney's office have willfully suppressed evidence that is exculpatory to my clients and denied themselves the opportunity to examine a key eyewitness. It is the duty of the prosecution and the sole responsibility of the prosecution to decide whether to call someone as a witness. But they must call all witnesses necessary to unfold the narrative of events unless there is a compelling reason not to do so. Lapses in memory are not enough you can impeach your own witness. As the prosecution seeks the truth, it must call evidence favorable and unfavorable to its case, which the prosecution
is
here today has
demolishing her
failed
right
to
now.
do. There is a clear intent, which has been revealed by testimony here today, to obfuscate, obscure, suppress, and withhold key details to an eyewitness testimony of the crime at hand because it does not mesh with the description of the
Objection, Your Honor.
clients,
This lacks foundation. This is a
with
conspiracy
the
that lacks
description
foundation.
of the clients that were found in Stab
Okay.
City.
There was an objection. What was your objection?
That this is a conspiracy that Mr. Braun is brewing up, and it lacks complete
You want to talk to
foundation.
me about conspiracies,
What, that he's
lady?
demolishing
Hold
you?
on, hold on.
Can she object to
Say that one more time.
Yes, I can. I am objecting to his conspiracy of us withholding information purposefully, and it lacks foundation.
It's not a conspiracy.
I'm gonna
Trooper
overrule.
Andrews said on the stand
No,
that Mr.
Mr. Braun,
Karthus
Mr. Braun,
mentioned
Mr.
a
Braun,
gnome mask.
Mr. Braun,
It is
Mr.
written
Braun.
nowhere in any statements.
Mr. Braun. I'm gonna overrule your objection,
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Katia. Okay, you may continue. The reason why I overruled it is because he did mention that you did not call Mr. Karthus, and it is your right to not call him, but he was an eyewitness to the stand, so I find it very funny that he was not called on your side. So, with that being said, he did have some foundation for that. So, Mr. Braun, go ahead and continue on with your closing, please.
Attaboy.
Okay, I will proceed with the many issues with the prosecution declining to call Mr. Karthus to the stand. As I said before, the prosecution may impeach its own witness, but by not calling Mr. Karthus to the stand, they impose a hardship on the defense, which in effect places the burden of proof on the defense. If the accused must call a witness to the stand, is faced with a procedural handicap imposed by the sponsorship doctrine, which prohibits him from impeaching his own witness. My ability to ask leading questions may be conditional. You're given a tactical advantage in that you can impeach the key eyewitness that I had to call, when you could have just as easily impeached them yourselves by calling them yourselves. And it also, of course, handicaps me the right to cross-examine that witness.
Got him.
So, what this basically means in layman's terms is that any conviction reached here today will have no chance of being upheld on appeal. So, I do believe that on its face, there is enough reasonable doubt in this case to acquit my clients of all charges, being the terrorism and the kidnapping, based on the enormous amount of reasonable doubt. But failing that, then I firmly believe that the failure of the prosecutor to uphold their duty to seek the truth by withholding and refraining from calling key eyewitnesses is grounds for a mistrial.
You're right, Big Cat.
Either way, there is absolutely no eyewitness testimony about the shooting in question, and only spurious, ham-handed conspiracy mumbo-jumbo that links anyone to Bovice. Anyone in the city, anyone in the county can purchase an orange pants and a white shirt. Everybody who takes down jobs in this city wears black. Those are not bona fides that can net convictions with the death penalty. There's just not enough here. And I really, again, I hate to tell you that we wasted our time, but I'm afraid we have. But
I can't hear
people
him.
have failed in their duty to you, the people. I rest my case.
Drop the mic, Murphy.
That was some shit.
With all closing statements being wrapped up, I'm gonna put this court into recess as I make my
Yo, Britt,
deliberations.
you had me dying,
There's gonna
Britt.
be snacks and stuff out there for y'all to enjoy.
That was easy. Will there be horse divorce?
You'll tinkle.
Yeah.
Britt, you had me fucking
Horse
dying.
divorce, please.
And at this time,
All right,
I would like
court's
to
in
ask that
recess.
everybody to step out of the courtroom after you get your snacks. due to the fact that it can hinder.
Why am I bald?
The judge's verdict
We were
while
molding.
he's deliberating in the back quarters.
Is everybody here that needs to be here?
Seems so, Your Honor.
Okay. First off, what I want to say is everybody is going to act right as I give my verdict. Everybody understand. Act like you got some sense. Act like you had a mama at home that brought you up, or a daddy, or some sort of paternal person, or person that raised you right to act right. And if you didn't, no outburst, no buffoonery, no him-haw and hoo-hoo and boo-hoo and yee-hee. None of that. Okay. I'm gonna ask the defendants to step in front of the step in front of me right here. No, you can back up. Y'all can back up. Okay.
What are you making, a fucking clown of us right now?
After deliberation, thinking very much on everything that happened and the heavy reliance of the plaintiff in the police reports that happened. All of those things being said, you guys running from the police, Ms. West, being found in your trunk, shooting back at the officers, and everything that happened is downright disgusting. Absolutely terrible. But as I made my deliberations on these reports, the police reports themselves, I found inconsistencies. One being from police report given to Sam Bass, where he states only 3 got out of the car and 1 was incapacitated, as opposed to the police report that was given by Andrews, where he said 4 got out of the car and ran. A big discrepancy. And I don't like discrepancies. I hold the police department to a very high esteem. The plaintiff not calling a key witness and the time elapsing for those 10 to 15 minutes are uncalled for. Nothing can actually be established except for these police reports that were mentioned, where I have pointed out an inconsistency inside of this report. It was duly noted as well. The failure to call Ms. West in. The plaintiff ferociously going after Mr. Karthus after going through a traumatic ordeal, where he did hold one detail to be consistent at all times. Granted, he was holding a dead man at the time. Remains that there was a no mask was there. So due to these inconsistencies and the failure to call a key witness to recall what exactly happened on the crime of murder, I'm gonna find you not guilty.
Fuck yeah.
Calm. Hush.
Alright,
Hush.
that's enough.
Hush. On the crime of terrorism, without a key witness to testify to the clothing of why she had these articles on and everything, and the fact that anybody can have this clothing and tell somebody to wear this clothing is circumstantial and cannot be substantiated without some sort of eyewitness to testify to these things in connection to this terrorism charge, as we call Vods. Now, Mr. Vinny, you may have had some connection to him, but in this moment and in this case, I'm seeing differently.
Thank you, sir.
So due to that fact, in this case, I will find the defendants not guilty of terrorism.
Yeah.
With that being said,
Let's. Woo.
case is going to be adjourned.
AKA case quashed.
Congratulations.
All I do is win, no matter what.
All right.
Represent the street.
Vinny, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Chang, congratulations.
All right, everybody out of the courtroom.
Hey, Your Honor, represent the streets, Your Honor. Represent the streets.
Dude, that was super fucking difficult. I was mad.
Hell yeah.
Out of the courtroom.
I would like my 200,000 back.
200,000.
They're mad. I think they're mad, man.
Oh, yeah. Alan, we might want to do that in the other city, just in case, buddy. All right? Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Uh-huh. I just want, I want to make sure that you get your money, okay?
Procedure issues?
All right.
No.
All right. Just get with one of us. You'll be all right. Yeah.
Dude,
Pay the bailiffs.
I don't like it. I did not like it.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right, did you have questions for him?
Very tough decision.
Hey, could you guys do me a favor? Could all the judges and the cops and the lawyers stay behind for me, please, for a second?
No.
No.
I just gotta say one thing.
The hell?
Everything's got to be consistent.
I just want to
definitely
say
think-
that since the court case is actually over, I appreciate you guys like a lot. Yeah, Dennis, I know. But I appreciate you guys with the character and everything, with all he's been through. It means a lot to me. I appreciate all the work I put into it and all the help you guys did.
Can you stop?
Oh my God,
my
my
character? My character still
Wait,
needs
what's
to
You
get
want me to
happening?
talk like
Open
this?
the
I can do this
floodgates.
if you want me to.
Open the floodgates, chat.
Oh, God.
Open the floodgates, boys. Go ham.
All right, Stanton, can we speak to you?
You may.
All right. You want to do it here, or
Let's go.
No, we can do it in the back.
you need to jump, sir?
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
You gotta jump. Spider on your foot. Spider on your foot. There you go.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear it.
I'm just a little bit confused
As to what?
as to, I mean, how two things that weren't really related affected the verdict. I mean, I know the
Well,
inconsistencies
verdict.
between
Okay,
Officer
so the
Bass
verdict. So
and-
this is the thing. When
Yeah.
you built your case, it was heavily formed on. First of all, you didn't have your eyewitness, so you had to do something. So you based your case on police reports. Essentially, you had a report read out loud.
Yeah.
Okay. And because this was what you decided to do, and after I found those inconsistencies in it, I found that I'm not comfortable with condemning somebody to death when the police are saying two different things. The people that are out here to uphold the law and make sure that everybody is safe, and they can't get their story right on written reports.
The
Okay,
part of the
that's
report that maintained
never-
accountability for the 10 to 15 minutes was consistent.
That's
And
not
not
what
to
I'm
mention the
talking about.
fact that,
That's not what I'm
okay, can I
talking
ask
about.
you this?
Go ahead.
Do you believe that video is fake?
Do I believe the video is fake?
Yeah.
I don't believe the video is fake.
Okay, so even though I pointed out multiple inconsistencies,
multiple times, you have to understand that a man was shot in front of another man, and he was holding him, and
Okay.
traumatic. And yeah, I would be rattled too. Hell, I'd change my story a few times because because as things would come clear to me, I would definitely start to say, oh, this was it. Oh, actually, it wasn't this. It was this. I would definitely do that if I was holding somebody that was dying.
If I may, Your Honor, during the course of this trial, after we had rested, we had police officers that watched the video that did not have access to it prior to, and we had people from Weasel News watch the video who did not have access to it prior to, and they both attested that the video was fake.
not to mention, in the video, as I stated in my closing, it is clearly seen that Kermit is shot in the face. However, there was absolutely no wounds to his face.
The actual physical evidence shows 5 bullet wounds to his chest.
And that wasn't taken lightly. It's not something where, you know.
Damn, that'd have been a good court case.
It's something that we tried to attest to in the closing statement.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your other concerns?
I'm still concerned about that. I mean, I mean, I also was planning on opening up some things against Ryan for clearly lying, and some more evidence has come to light. So is this going to be the same issue? I mean, the video to me is clearly fake, given the inconsistencies.
Well, with the knowledge that I had at my disposal,
I'm breaking in real quick, but
go ahead.
From this point out, all the judges unanimously agree, and we want to make it perfectly clear, we will not be doing any more sworn affidavits. If you have someone that wants to give testimony and they can't make it to court, we've always done the same thing in the past, and what we do is you have the defense attorney, or in your case, it'd be the defense attorney, and you, and a judge, and you would ask the questions, and the other lawyer could object, and it would all be filed on
The
paper.
reason why I didn't consider the gunshot to the face is
way,
because it could have hit him like
lower
lower in the like the game mechanic could have probably like right here, and it looks like it came off his head,
different,
like in his neck or something.
Although
you know what I'm
those
saying?
normally for dead people, but regardless, in this city we like things.
I wasn't gonna take these
things
into account, man.
We like people to tell us what happened. We don't like people to read what happened. You know what I mean? It's really hard. It's really hard. That's why we don't like it very often. It's really hard to hear the sincerity in text.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I
knew what it was.
Accounting for the fact that
I just
Adrian
don't
may
like
not
it.
have been here due to the fact that she would have to be testifying against her 4 alleged kidnappers and the murderers of her best friend.
Then you wouldn't have a case then.
So if officers are up there saying that someone said something, I mean,
like,
I guess I'm just confused
if you
because
don't
like everybody
have the
said that it's
evidence and
fake,
witnesses you
but
need
like
to
when I have
prosecute
it,
someone,
no one says that it's fake. Like
you
I
don't
gotta
have a
look at it,
case.
man. I don't know.
We believed we did, and then a witness became no longer available.
At that point, you lost your case.
All right, I guess we play with the cards we're dealt. That's fine.
That's exactly how it works.
all right.
You know, you don't
I mean,
always get the perfect
I just
hand.
want y'all to know that I still love both of y'all.
No, it's not anything about that.
Okay.
It's just I'm just like that video is clearly not real, and I feel like that is 100% enough to prove that they are.
We're going to be
With
pursuing a
Objection,
case.
speculation.
I mean,
I proved it wasn't real.
We're getting subject matter expert opinion on it, and we're going to be pursuing a case for falsifying of evidence.
Okay.
Very good.
Then go
Okay,
do
Just
that.
don't pursue the case with an affidavit of sworn testimony.
Absolutely not. We're if we get a subject
right.
matter expert in to say that yes, the video is obviously fake.
Is that
then
fake? Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Is that
yeah,
video
we're
seriously
gonna
fake?
have that person
Like for
stand in
real?
court
Like
and
did they
watch the
go out
video
and make
say
a
yes,
fake
it's
video?
fake because of X, Y, and Z, and these are my licensed credentials.
Oh my
And then what are we
fucking
gonna go off
god!
of that?
And what about the fact that the person recording this was clearly in the road and nobody seemed to notice this person?
I mean, how do you know that that camera
I haven't
wasn't
seen the
zoomed in
video,
though?
but
I mean, you can see at the very ends of the video that there's
It
literally
looks like
a car.
he's there. There's
I
a
can
car.
show you.
There's a car in
you're-
front of him, but he's off
Oh,
on the
we can
sidewalk,
just-
backed away.
He's not on the sidewalk, and I can prove that to you. But I'll wait until the next case.
But here's the thing, like, even if you change the judge's mind right now,
Yeah,
Verdict's already been read.
Yeah, the verdict's
No,
been read.
yeah,
I'm not going to change my mind. I uphold it.
No, yeah, I'm not trying to
because
change
I believe I'm right. Now, if
Okay.
there are other things that come to light that say that I'm wrong, then yes, 100%, I'll go and I'll pay you $100,000.
so Mr. Splain, let's what
Out of
would
my
you say
pocket.
you were thinking about doing with the
Kevin's chat.
with the video?
Just come to say great job.
We
Really
had
good at what you
2
do.
different people
Thanks, man.
approach us after we rested,
Thanks, boys.
saying that, hey, I have these crucial details as to why the video is
Yo,
fake.
we're so close to.
And I'm going to go to those people,
to 65,
pursue
man.
what they approached me about. Exactly why did they bring that up to me? One of them was a
Yo,
subject matter expert
we only
contractor
have,
from
like,
Weasel News.
A few more.
And I'm gonna ask them why they
65
think it's
boys, that
fake, and if
shit's
they can
nuts.
prove it, then they prove it.
And
And
then I
I'm
get
gonna
more emotes.
make a
And I
case
need
for the
more
falsifying
emotes.
of evidence. They have tampered with a trial.
So you'll charge him with tampering with evidence.
Obstruction as well as perjury, possibly even aiding and abetting. Because if I can prove that he's lying about this video, then he's clearly trying to cover up the murder of a chief
Oh, shit.
ADA.
Yo, much love to you guys.
This is a law enforcement official, and thus capital murder applies.
Yeah,
Do it.
we'll just go ahead and
Appreciate
we'll
all
do
of
that.
you guys.
All right. Well, yeah.
All
I'm sorry,
love,
Buck. I don't mean to
man.
sit here and be like, you did something
No,
wrong.
you're
I'm
fine.
just-
Whatever, I didn't glance at this evidence very much because I like to hear stuff in the courtroom. And quite frankly, after the whole affidavit thing, I didn't listen to much after that. But whenever I saw that Miss West was
No, I'm
gonna
not
do
beating
that,
myself up,
I already knew
Chad.
that
I'm not gonna
you
beat
guys were
myself
giving it a
up.
bad hand. Like, it's. I mean, I applaud you for still going through with it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
Okay.
all the
Well,
subs.
that's fair.
Chat.
That is our court system. So.
Thank you guys.
Can't disagree.
For all the love. The 5 gifted.
Yeah, it's a legal system.
I
Where
can't even
people
read
have to
chat
be
right
proven
now.
guilty, and without a witness there to prove that, they're not guilty.
Yep. I
Made
agree.
it more realistic. That's absolutely funny.
All
as
right.
shit.
Well, let's get out of here.
Yep.
Thank you, Stanton. Thanks, Coyote.